That's an eternity of basketball ahead of us. Another beautiful steal perpetrated by Todd White. The action continues. A let's go situation here. Alex Compton going up against a double team. Jeffrey Moore has perfect access to the bucket. Watch yourself on that normal replay of that last bit of action was Juan Fernandez actually wanting to dish up against Master Jaworski. We're crossing the twilight zone. That's an eternity of basketball ahead of us.
Pangarap ay umangat pero minsan ay salingat. Sa barangay nagtutulungan at may taglay na kabayanihan.
Akong bahala sa'yo.
Kabayani kita sa Ginebra. Ikaw ang inspirasyon. Kahit di madali, katuwang sa bawat sandali.
Sagot kita.
Kabayani kita, oh, sa One Ginebra Nation. Sa tapang niyo, mas ganado ako.
Ituloy mo lang.
Kabayani kita, oh, sa One Ginebra Nation. Kaya para sa barangay, ako namang magbibigay.
Ako bahala sa'yo.
Kabayani, kabayani, kabayani kita.
Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao.
Kabayani kita.
Never say die, isigaw.
Kabayani kita. Sa haba ng nilakbay, may tapang at never say die. Nagsasakripisyo pero ganado, ikaw ang inspirasyon ko.
Kaya niyo yan.
Kabayani kita sa Ginebra. Tumutulong na may kabayanihan. Kabayani kita sa One Ginebra Nation. Sa One Ginebra Nation.
Salamat, teacher.
Sa iyong mga kabay, ako namang magbibigay. Kabayani kita sa One Ginebra Nation. Dito sa aming barangay, pagtutulungan ay taglay. May tapang at ganado, inspirasyong todo-todo. Kabayani kita, at tutulungan na may kabayanihan.
Salamat, idol.
Kabayani kita sa One Ginebra Nation. Sa One Ginebra Nation. Kaya dito sa barangay, kabayanihan ay taglay. Kabayani tayo.
Ito po ang Eternity of Basketball. We are part of the Globally Ballin Network. Trending episodes natin sa YouTube. Jay Ramirez Pera na nasa number 1. Nandiyan si Louie Alas. All the way down to Carlos Clark. Which was your favorite? Watch us on Spotify as well. Listen to us there. If you love our show, send us some love with a 5-star rating. Benji Paraf is still at number 1 on the top 8 podcast episodes. GloballyBallin.com is what you need for original articles, audio and video projects, and the rest of the shows on the network. Ako po si Charlie Guna with Sid Ventura and Jay Mercado for episode 298 today. At ang guest natin sa araw nito, maniwala kayo o hindi, siya ang pinakabatang individual guest natin ever on this show. O di ba? Imagine, pinakabata siya. Pero di na rin siya bata kasi grabe yung karanasan niya sa basketball.
Sinasadya mo ba talaga mag-Tagalog?
Ha? O syempre, kasi talagang magtatagalog tayo mamaya. Di ba? Hindi, so naglaro sa Amerika pero biglang nasa Pilipinas na. Nag-superstar sa NBA, nag-MVP, nag-kampiyon, lumipat sa PBL, nag-kampiyon din, umabot sa PBA, nag-import sa PBA, naging coach, assistant, and then eventually became a head coach. And now is also like one of our guests last week, Rado, author na rin ng isang libro. Mag-uusapan natin lahat yan. Ganda ng kwentuhan sigurado, kaya kailangan na natin umpisahan. Let's bring him in! From Madison, Wisconsin. It's Coach Alex Compton. Hey, Coach. Anong balita? Oh, walang audio. Ba't walang audio si Coach Alex?
Coach, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you. But you're not on mute. What's going on? What happened? Now he's on mute. Wala talaga.
What happened? Refresh.
Why does it start? Why does it always have to start? Okay, can we refresh? Can you just log out and log right back in? I mean, because there's something wrong with the audio. Coach.
Okay, is it working?
Yeah,
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Now we hear you.
Sensya
Ayun,
na.
kamusta, Coach?
Hindi ako techie eh. Kayo naman yung
Pare-pareho tayo.
Basta guys, nice to see
What's
you.
up, Coach?
Kasata eh.
Ano?
Ito nga pinakabata.
How's the weather over there? How's the weather over there, Coach?
Okay naman, kaya lang may mga fires, may mga forest fires sa Canada, so medyo mausok ng konti yung hangin namin. Pero
Oh,
okay
you're
naman.
feeling it.
Yeah.
You're feeling the effects. Okay.
Yeah,
Coach,
food damage.
you were born over there in Wisconsin, right? And, well, you know. Oh, you weren't. Where were you born?
Malapit sa inyo, Makati Med.
Dito ka pala. Sorry.
Oo,
Dito
diba?
ka nga.
Kaya nga nakalaro siya sa NBA eh.
Di ba?
Correct,
Tapos
yeah.
ako
Sorry.
na Pilipino ako? Ano ba?
Pwede, di ba? Ganun na ganun. Pero coach, okay, ganito na lang. Let's go back to the start of your basketball life. Bakit basketball ang napili mo? Because, you know, there's America's sport, the baseball, and then, I don't know if you're a football guy at all. You're obviously not a hockey guy. But bakit basketball ang napili mo? Was it basketball right away or did you dabble in other sports?
Well, I played a lot of sports. I played baseball and soccer. Hindi ako ano pang football. Maliit lang eh. Kasi nung bata ako, payat ako, tapos short pa. So, hindi bagay sa akin ang football eh. Mga brusko yung mga yan. Grabe yung athleticism nila. Basketball was just always something na love ko talaga. Kasi nag-enjoy din ako sa baseball, pero medyo mabagal eh. So, ikot akong tao eh. Kailangan kong gumalaw. So, baseball, tatayo ka talaga in between pitches, you're waiting. Kung hindi ka yung pitcher eh, parang, okay, let's go. Somebody hit me the ball. And then I just started playing basketball all the time. May kuya ako. I think, like a lot of players, kapag may kuya ka, may parang binugbog ako. So I love playing, and then I get beat up all the time, but I love playing so much. I guess I was a glutton for punishment. And then I love playing with my friends, and it just became one of those things that ayoko maging masyadong deep, but as I look back on it as I got older, kasi sa basketball, hindi tungkol sa iyo, pero importante ka. 5 tayo eh. Right? So it can't just be you. It's us, but you're important in that 5. And so, lalo na, maliit ako. So, bilang point guard, di ba, parang you have to be part of the director and running the show and pick guys up. And there was just something that I really enjoyed about us and teamwork and not being just an individual that parang bagay sa personalidad ko. And it's a fast-moving sport, so I just always loved it.
And when you say your brother was playing, you're talking about Ben, right?
Yeah, he's 5 years older than me. A lot uglier, just not as intelligent. You know, we've clarified all that.
He's a cool guy too. But okay, so Ben's beating you up, you get into basket. But how did you learn to dribble the way you dribble, the way you shoot, and all of that? Did you attend clinics, or was it just you just working yourself out?
Just went to a lot of small summer camps. But you know, I don't ever feel like I was a great ball handler. I think I was a very functional ball handler. Yung dribbling ko bagay sa panahon nila atoy ko. Parang more down, functional, move the ball, run without it. The way kids dribble now, man, oh my gosh. Wala sa akin yan.
Yeah.
So it was really more shooting and passing and reading the game that were more of my strength.
How old were you when your family moved back to the States after you were born here?
6 months old.
Oh, 6 months. Okay, so you weren't old enough to really immerse yourself in the basketball culture here. But in the States, who were your idols growing up as a ball player?
So to go way back, and I know you guys are like me, you're basketball nerds, so you might know this. I was too young when we lived in North Carolina, but there was a player that was my brother's favorite that ended up being the reason that I wore number 44. And my brother's favorite player was a guy named David Thompson.
Okay.
He was actually the guy who introduced Michael Jordan to the Hall of Fame. He was an incredible athlete, played in the ABA, NBA, won dunk contests. I mean, just a legend. Turned his life around, but at a point got too heavy into cocaine. Anyways, whatever. So David Thompson. And then when I went to upstate New York, we moved there early 80s. So I watched Syracuse on TV a lot. And they had a guard named Pearl Washington in college who was a great college player. And then the first time that I saw John Stockton play, I could just relate. Oh, little white guy. He's just running around out there and kind of running the team, and he's tiny, but he's pretty good. Like, I want to be like that guy. So ever since the first time I saw him play, talagang idol ko sobra. Parang relate ako sa kanya. Kaya lang, magaling dumipensa yan. Hindi ako yan.
Tsaka magulang yun. Oh,
Katulad niya yun.
Magulang din to si Coach Alex. Yeah, that's right. No, there's a comment right away which we have to show, no? Ferdinand says, the NBA began a few weeks after the Titanic phenomenon. Alex became immediately well known because he's a dead ringer to Leonardo DiCaprio. Wow. And you even guessed it on Okie Dokie Doc. Right? Was it Boone or Bane? And did Alex meet DiCaprio? Did you ever meet Leonardo DiCaprio?
No, mas mayaman ako dyan. Grabe.
Mas mayaman sa kaibigan. Marami kaibigan.
Yeah. Tama.
Talaga.
No, he's a superstar international celebrity. I'm just but it was funny, you know what they asked was it was funny when that came out. I still don't think I look like him. I don't anyways. But people started saying that, right? And putting that out there, and people started calling me Jack. Hi, Jack. Like, who's Jack? Oh, I get it. And then the funniest story was the boss Louis. I don't know. Have you ever had the pleasure of meeting Louis Chudien? He was one of the owners of the Metro Stars.
No, whatever.
Not personally. Yeah.
Great guy, great family. So much fun to be around. He's just so kind. Anyways, I lived with them first. So sa panahon na yun, sa Santa Mesa ata sila kasi hindi pa set up yung condo ko. So I just got to the Philippines 1998. I'm living with Boss Louie and Tita Cynthia and Mama Muchi. Anyways, their whole family just really wonderful, so welcome and loving. They helped me fall in love with the Philippines. Boss Louie goes, hey buddy, they want you to guest on this sitcom. Like, oh, okay, but they know I don't speak, like I've only been here 2 months, boss. They know I don't speak Tagalog, right? He's like, of course, you're an American. You just got here, no problem. And the sitcom, the taping was literally my birthday. So it's March 15. I've been in the country 2 months. And then I go and they give me, I wish I had a paper. They give me lines. So they give me lines like of a sheets of paper like this. And it's all printed out. Lahat yan Tagalog. And I'm like, I don't, sorry, I just got here. I'm trying to learn, but I can say like, magandang, maga, and these lines, some of them were like a paragraph. So I kind of start all of a sudden, instead of it being like, this is going to be fun, I got real nervous. And then this nice producer from ABS, Diana, went to help me. She's coaching it through me. And it didn't help at one point. She starts laughing. She goes, you sound so stupid. I was like, oh, well, thank you.
Was this Diana Saison?
yeah, Diana Saison. That's right. It was all new to me. And so, if I asked you guys right now, hey, go on a sitcom in Egypt and recite it like on the spot, and you're not an actor. Right. Right. So I have to be on Okie Dokie Dog. And it was really awesome. Reading, wala akong alam sa Filipino culture sa time na yan. So I got to meet Aga. I got to meet Agot. And Agot was so nice. She was like my first crush in the Philippines.
Yes.
I was so nervous. I was like, oh man, she's beautiful and she's so nice. Oh my God. Oh. And it was such a crazy time, but it was really fun. It was really fun.
I share that sentiment about Agot as well. We were talking about
Don't we all?
your early life. We go back because we have what we call the time capsule. And so, you sent us some photos, which are awesome photos. So we have to dive into that right away. Let's enter the time capsule, Carla.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
He's that child.
Yeah, I'm the little one there. I needed a haircut. And my dad needed to trim his sideburn mutton chops things, whatever those were. I think.
That's right. You're the little. Yeah, there's Ben.
Yeah.
So okay, hairstyle, AirPods. Okay, your hairstyle. How old were you in these photos, Coach?
I think I'm about 2 in the family picture,
Uh-huh.
and I think I'm around 7 in the.
Yeah, but 7. The face is there already. You can see already
Yeah.
the features of Coach Alex at 7. So at 7, were you playing basketball already, or were you still?
I just started. I just joined leagues, and I just loved it. kilala mo ako, malikot ako eh. Like to move around, and I was an energetic little kid, so I just always wanted to run, and basketball let you do that. And it was, yeah.
Galing, ah. And then you ended up playing basketball at Madison West. Is that right?
Yes,
Madison
we
West High
moved
School.
around a lot. So I don't really have like one hometown.
Okay.
You know, so people who do, I'm not jealous of, because I got to see but I don't know what it's like to grow up with one group of people. So we left the Philippines, we lived in North Carolina, then we moved to upstate New York. My dad was a professor. My mom and dad worked at universities. And then from upstate New York, we took a year and lived in Thailand, in Khon Kaen,
Okay.
Thailand. But and so I learned Thai at the time because we lived for a year. My parents are both fluent in Thai and Lao, and
Awesome.
they had us live in a place where there's no foreigners and nobody spoke English, and they spoke Thai. So we learned Thai. But now, "Put pasa Thai mai dai krap." I cannot speak it anymore.
Galing.
And then we moved back to Ithaca, and then right before high school, we moved to Madison, Wisconsin, and then
Flexible ang dila ni Coach Alex.
Oo nga eh, galing.
Oh.
Was that part of your, no? Was that part of the work of your parents? For them to move around?
yeah, so my parents met in the Peace Corps in Thailand. So mga siguro pagkatapos ng college, eto yun talagang courageous sila kasi sa panahon natin ngayon, di ba, may internet tayo, at any time you can look at anything online. Sa panahon nila, black and white lahat ng mga TV. So
Yeah.
they signed up for the Peace Corps, which was hindi nila alam kung saan sila pupunta. Basta sasama sila sa Peace Corps. They're joining, they're going, and then they got sent to Thailand, and they met in Thailand. And then they went back to the U.S., got their master's degree, and then they went to Laos. And my mom started doing some research, sa dissertation niya, sa PhD niya. And then my unang trabaho ng daddy ko pagkatapos ng kanyang PhD was sa Silang, Cavite. That's why we
Right.
moved to the Philippines.
Right.
Actually, I found this out. I always knew this growing up. So I didn't spend a lot of time with Filipinos growing up. But my dad, the night before we left, they were painting the inside of the water tower in Silang.
Okay.
And I guess yung mga bata, mga teenagers magpipintura, they didn't know na toxic yung fumes.
Okay.
So ginising ang tatay ko ng kaibigan niya, and they're like, "Oh, let's go, we gotta help these kids. They're passed out. They might die." So
Wow.
he climbed down, and he had to put them on his shoulder and carry
Wow.
4 people up. And on the fourth one, like the third one, he was already dizzy, and he was telling the guy, I can't breathe. And he brought the fourth guy up, and then he passed out, and his friend caught him, and they brought him to, and he didn't fall and die, but he almost died. And then we got on the plane the next day. And I'm a baby, so I don't know this, but there's facts sa basement namin about how, he risked his life. And I was like, wow.
Yeah. So you
But
just
yeah,
save some lives, get on a plane, and just move on to where you're going.
Yeah.
Parang simple lang, di ba? What was the nature of their work here in Silang?
Well, it was my dad's work. My mom was still finishing her dissertation. My mom's a linguist, so her dissertation was on an ancient rhythmic form of Lao poetry. So don't read that, Charlie. My dad was doing like community development. He was big into adult education, community development, engaging the community and participating in life and decision making and trying to bring people together. And he's sort of spent his life trying to help the rural poor. He grew up a coal miner's son in a rural area. So parang yun naging focus niya. That's why he was in the Philippines and Thailand. And
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
your brother was born in the States, or was he also born?
He was born in Michigan. And then he lived in Thailand for a little bit when he was a kid, and then lived in the Philippines. He actually spoke Thai and Lao and Tagalog all before he was 6 years old.
Wow.
Okay, so marunong din pala mag-Tagalog si Ben. Okay.
Hindi na, wala na. Kasi nasa Vietnam na siya.
Nakalimutan na. Okay.
Wala na. Yeah.
So this, on the left, I guess this is prom? Was this prom on the left?
No, I'm too young. That's 8th grade. Guy in the middle is my best friend. We were inseparable. That's Kevin Riley. Behind him is a friend of mine, Coley Parziel's passed away now. So we miss him. And then our other good friend, Gordon Kerr.
So I was thinking because one of the guys in the tuxedo, so I was thinking that was prom. But
yeah, 8th grader, bata pa kami nun. So this is still middle school, and this is in New York. And then the team on the right was my middle school travel team. Actually, fun story. No, etong team na to, we played together growing up, and we did pretty well in tournaments. And then, as it turned out, lumipat ako sa Madison. Yun, nag-state champion kami sa Madison. Sila, nag-Final Four sila sa state sa New York. And New York's a bigger state. So it was a really cool thing that our group, I went off, but we both had some really good team success. That was fun. I still talk to one of those guys, Dom Amici, in the back there a bit. So, yeah.
So you're number 4 in front, right? With
I am
Muscat?
14 with the flat top.
Number 14, yeah.
Oh,
Flat top.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, incredibly unimpressive physically. Yes.
How old were you here, Coach?
Siguro mga 7th grade ata.
7th grade. Okay.
Mga 12.
12, ano?
Yeah, mga ganun.
Mga ganun.
Yeah.
And then you're only 8. You really were just 8 players, or was there someone absent for the photo?
There might have been one guy absent for the photo, but we didn't have a lot of kids on the team. But from that team, I think 5 of those guys ended up being starters in high school. So yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Typical high school.
Coach, you
gym.
should have a reunion. Parang grown-ups.
Oh,
Adam
yeah.
Sandler.
Yeah, well, ginawa namin to sa high school. We had a reunion. I've seen my best friend in the picture to the left. We still talk a good bit.
Okay.
But I haven't seen anybody but Dom. Dom, number 32, lives in California, and I've been to his house. He lives in Redondo Beach area. And then Sean McCarthy, number 4, lives out there. Anyways, I can't believe you guys are asking me about these guys. This is awesome. These are like my middle school friends,
Well, they're in the photo. They're worth talking about. But there's a guy. There's a guy called the Pistolero, and this is what he says about you. His name's Boyet Francisco. I'm sure you know him.
Okay.
The NBA's greatest shooter now is you.
Coming from the Pistolero.
Yeah, coming from Boyet.
Boyet, baka ikaw
High
sinasabi
praise,
mo,
ha?
Baka Boyet saying siya yung greatest. Hindi naman. Praise from a fellow former player. So
Yeah, well, thank you. But no one will ever say greatest defender or shot blocker or any of those things.
hey, you play to your strengths. No problem.
Yeah, that's right.
So, next photo tayo, Carla. Sige, go ahead, coach. You were gonna say something.
Well, before I say this, I was going to say, because Boy said that about shooting. I like to try to convince my centers that I created a whole new defensive statistic category. I told them all the time. I had a center who's now at Cornell, who's now the what is he? He's the head of the G League Players Union in the NBA.
Oh, okay.
And then I told this to Romel. I created what I call the defensive assist, and that is I would get beat so they could get shot blocks.
You let him go by.
I was trying to help him out always. Here, go block another shot. There you go. It's good for you.
And then Romel Aducon had like 5 or 6 block shots.
Yeah, he was a monster.
3 of them courtesy of you. Okay.
Yeah, he has an assist.
Yeah, so this is the state championship thing.
Yeah, we had a really special time and a special team, and it's funny. Me and my best friend are sitting at opposite sides of that trophy, and it was just a great story. We lost to the team that we were playing in the state tournament the year prior. We were beating them by 12 points with 4 minutes left, and we choked. I mean, we choked as juniors. They came back and won, and they won the state championship, and they didn't lose a game, and they were ranked number 11 in the country. And then we ended up playing them in the final game the way the brackets played out, and by 14. And if you ask me, the honest truth is if we played 10 times, they probably beat us 7 or 8. They were better, but we just had a time where my best friend, number 30, Mike Dahmen, and I shot the ball real well. And then we had a big front line for high school. So 52 in the middle, Adem McDaniel was about 6'7". Myron, number 54, in my opinion, should have been the Division I player. He was about 6'7", 230 with long arms and tough and I fear. And then number 40, Alec Moser, number 44, Gus Doyle, handled a couple big-time D1 recruits. And it was like what I talked about, why I love basketball. It was team. So we got a lot of the glory for shooting the ball well, But those guys held guys who went to the Big Ten and DePaul and, were big time players. And our big guys kind of carried us. People just didn't realize it.
Yeah, you had number 14 earlier. Now you're number 22. Is that
Yeah,
right?
how did that happen?
Yeah.
My coach told me what my number was going to be. He said, nope, our best senior guy always wears number 22 and 23. It's like, oh, because it was weird. Our team back then, we had 2 separate uniforms, blue for the road, and the numbers were odd. So I was 23 on the road and 22 at home.
Seriously? Okay.
That's the only
Really?
thing I ever had in common with Michael Jordan is that I wore 23. Other than that, that's all as far as that goes.
That's weird. Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
And
why.
if you add both, it's 45, which was his other number.
Yeah,
Oh, there you go. Oh, we're basically the same player then.
No, your impact. Yeah. At one point, you were like
growing
Michael
up in
Jordan.
of course, in Madison. I guess all of you cheered for the Bucks, right?
Interesting, Sid. Actually, because I was such a diehard Stockton fan,
Uh-huh.
I was like, I didn't really care about the Bucks. I
Oh.
was a diehard Jazz fan. And what I loved about the Jazz, and most people don't know this actually, Popovich, when he built the Spurs, said we need to copy what Jerry Sloan's doing with the Jazz. We got a small market team. They have character, they have toughness, they win with guys with make less money, who aren't starters. So we kind of looked at the Jazz. And I always loved their toughness. And obviously I love Stockton. But you had a lot of guys who would go over there and just fit in that system and just fight for it. So yeah, I was a diehard Jazz fan, man.
No, yeah, I mentioned it because the Bucks were pretty good in the '80s, right?
Yeah, well, Sidney Moncrief,
Yeah.
Paul Pressey,
Yeah,
Terry
Paul
Cummings.
Pressey.
Yeah, I mean they could go. Sidney Moncrief was great.
Mhm.
They were
Yeah,
just
anyone named Sydney is pretty great, actually.
well, that's obvious. That's obvious.
Wow. Ang ganda ng pasok mo doon, pare.
Oo, nasingit eh.
Hindi namin naisip yun eh. Diba? So you moved on. You're playing high school ball. You get the state championship and all of that. And then, were you being recruited for colleges or colleges, universities? Where they're inviting you?
Yes. So a really cool thing happened. My brother took a year off of college, and when he took that, I mean, the truth is we were actually just struggling to pay for his college, and so he took a year off. And while he was home working, he took all the calls, and he would send the tapes out, and so he handled all my recruiting.
Wow.
So it was like, it was such a huge blessing to me because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't really pay attention. I just wanted to play ball and play with my friends. I don't know how this works. It's not like now, there's no having you post something online. You just played. And so he talked to all these guys, and I was really at best what you'd call a mid-major player at best. That's where I got recruited and played at St. Joe's. And I good enough to play with better players, but not good enough to like earn a spot or anything or earn a scholarship to the University of Wisconsin or higher level. And so it was a great run, man. It was really fun.
Let's look at the next photo, Carla, please. Because this is I guess this graduation, I suppose.
Yeah, so it's my best friend and his mom, and me and my mom, and
Pogi, oh. Kapogi naman. Look at those sparkling eyes.
Yung DiCaprio comparisons medyo nakikita ko na dito.
Yes. So, sa photo nito. Kasi medyo may goatee pa ng konti, di ba?
Yeah, I was trying to grow my manhood there a little bit. We were struggling. It wasn't there yet. So we're trying.
So this is right before. And then so eventually you ended up you're going to St. Joe's first, right?
Yeah. Coach Phil Martelli was an assistant coach who recruited me. It was fun. I got to be on his podcast a couple months ago, or maybe a month ago. He'd won National Coach of the Year. They were number 1 in the country about, I don't know, when Jameer Nelson was there. And he was the guy who kind of recruited me, and Coach John Griffin was the head coach. And I got to speak to Coach Griffin for the first time in 32 years about 2 months ago. And it was awesome. It was awesome talking to him. And it's funny how this works. I don't know. I've talked to you guys so much. Dami nating dinaanan, daming kwento, ganon. I don't know if I've ever told you guys this. So, nung pumunta ako sa St. Joe's, I didn't ever get cheated out of playing time. Medyo nawala yung confidence ko, and because I came in unprepared and I got smashed in the mouth by strong college players, guys who had prepared better and were more talented. For a guy my size with my athleticism or lack thereof, I needed to be really coming in prepared. And I came in after having a really fun summer with a lot of my friends. And so, when I was in Philly, guys that we would play pickup basketball included Rick Brunson, Aaron McKee, Eddie Jones, Kerry Kittles, a guy named Turquin Mott, Mark Jackson, who had played for Golden State. I mean, there were players all over, and more. Jerome Allen, who played in the NBA for a little bit. Matt Maloney, who was a starting point guard for the Rockets for a while.
The Rockets.
Could play. And my teammates could battle with them. And my confidence wasn't there. So I did not get cheated. So I didn't play much and I didn't deserve it. But syempre, pag player ka, lalo na kung bata ka, yung identity mo nandyan, di ba? So, first team all-state ako. Champion kami. Ever since, maliit ako, sinasabi nila lahat, ay, galing mo mag-basketball player ka, ganun-ganun, di ba? Parang, kahit paano, yun ang nagiging identity mo. So, yung ng exit interviews namin sa sophomore year ko, pumasok ako sa opisina ni Coach Griffin. Pinaupo ako, nag-uusap kami. Tapos tinanong niya ako, sabi niya, Alex, have you ever thought about transferring? I go, no, Coach. I'm a Hawk, good or bad. I signed with St. Joe's. I'm here no matter what. He's like, yeah, well, we appreciate that. And that's great. Your loyalty or your work ethic. But when I was a player, I was kind of like you. And I played at St. Joe's. And I had a chance to go to a couple different universities. And I didn't. I chose St. Joe's. And then I had a chance to transfer from St. Joe's and go to Drexel, where I would have been a starter and played a lot. But because I didn't, I really never got to play much college basketball. And I just want you to consider that. Now, all I heard, syempre, emotional kami, di ba? So I'm already a bench player. I'm trying to fight through how am I going to earn minutes and get back to the guy that I am. Pero nasaktan ako dyan. Talagang nasaktan ako dyan. So talaga ako. Tinawagan ko si Coach Martelli. Nagmumura pa ako. Bakit ba? Hindi magandang mga sinabi ko. And Coach Martelli really helped me through that time, and he helped me transfer to Cornell. What I didn't, and one of the things Coach Griffin had said is, you've got Mark Bass in front of you. You've got this guy, Terrell Myers. Terrell played 10 years in overseas, including Spain. He's a really good player, just way better, significantly better player than I was. And then he said, we just signed a kid named Rashid Bey, who's really a top recruit. And I just don't see you playing a lot by the time, maybe 10, 15 minutes a game your senior year. And so he was really trying to help me. And all I heard was get out. I actually wrote a blog about this. And I called Coach Griffin to talk to him to see if it was okay, because I understood afterwards that he was trying to help me after moving to the Philippines and having all these good things happen. But he was trying to help me be able to play because he never got to play. He was on the team. He was a vice president of Payne Weber on Wall Street. I mean, the guy is brilliant. He's a hard worker, he's a great guy, but he didn't get to play college basketball. So he was trying to help me, and I went to Cornell, and it changed my life. I was a captain before I ever put on a uniform. I was captain for 2 years, played all the time, and it was at Cornell that I found out about Philippine basketball and then went to the Philippines. So I got, after 32 years, after I left St. Joe's kind of bitter, I got to call Coach Griffin. I asked Coach, who did I ask? Yeah, I got Bernard Blunt. They gave me his number anyways. Our leading scorer gave me his number. And I called him to say thank you. I didn't understand at the time. I was so mad. Right. But you had one of those hard, necessary conversations with me that I didn't want to hear because I was an insecure kid that changed my life. And thank you. And he was so gracious and happy to get the call. It was really cool. But it's one of those things where minsan meron tayong dinaanan na at the time na masakit talaga. Pero maganda yun. Buti na lang nangyari.
Worked out for you.
If I hadn't gone to Cornell, I wouldn't be talking to you guys because that's where I found out about Philippine basketball. So pretty cool.
Here's a photo. He says you're the captain, right? Yeah, I was going to say that. Norman, go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, Norman Black went to St. Joe's, right?
Yeah, so I always joke with Coach Norman because we lived in the same house. There's a house, Berry Hall, right next to the gym. And I always tell Coach Norman, sure, Coach Norman, you averaged 14 rebounds a game, and I scored 14 points in my 2 years at St. Joe's. So we're pretty much same value,
Yeah.
to that program. And when I was on Coach Martelli's podcast, I told him, I was like, hey, Coach, I know you're not with St. Joe's anymore, but I got to ask a favor. You got to get in touch with him for me. He's like, yeah, Alex, what do you need? It's like, yeah, when they retired my jersey number, they misspelled my name. Compton is not spelled Nelson. So I was number 14 at St. Joe's, but so was a player who wasn't too bad named Jameer Nelson. So really, my number is in the rafters at St. Joe's. I want everybody to know that.
Yeah, well, at least you can say they retired my number.
That's all I say all the time. Sid.
Yeah, just the number, not exactly the
That was
jersey.
Samir and Delonte West, right?
That's why I had to transfer to Cornell, because they know how to spell at Cornell. That was the
I was gonna say. But did you ever hear of Norman Black when you were playing at St. Joe's, or you just, was he listed anywhere in any of the
maybe
literature?
But there were a couple guys at St. Joe's who were imports overseas. But I think in Coach Norman, I love you. He's become a friend, and I just love him and look up to him. But I think we were far enough away in terms of age that he wasn't going to come back to the gym and play with us. I think he'd already made his life in the Philippines, and he was there. So
Right. Was there a difference though? I mean, because Cornell, academically has a high reputation. I think. Did you change courses along the way, and was it harder academically at Cornell for you?
Yeah, absolutely. And the answer to both is yes. Ang hirap talaga dun, but worth it naman. So my 4 courses per semester at Cornell were harder than my 5 courses per semester at St. Joe's.
Wow.
And they were much more challenging, but I really enjoyed my conversations with my classmates. And, what I loved about guys on the team was we could be meatheads and really dumb together, but then have in the next sentence an intelligent conversation, and then go back to being dumb meatheads, like a 20-something-year-old guy would want to do. And I changed my course. I was studying psychology, and then I went to human development and family studies, which is a little bit like developmental psychology, but it really sort of, the title of it kind of encapsulated my desire in life. Like even as a point guard, as a coach and everything, I like to develop people, like get them better. Hey man, keep working on this. I'll get you a shot here. I'll do this. And just watching, I was always interested in how people learn and grow and improve. And then I've always valued my family and recognized the impact of family on the growth of people, and it fit. And then, the craziest thing is when we ended up writing our book, I hadn't thought about it, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm coming full circle. So I had an amazing time and met some fantastic people who were just doing great things at that university. It was really fun.
What's this trophy on the right side? Sorry, Jay. What's this trophy on the right side?
Oh, sorry. That's still the state championship.
Oh, that's okay.
The state championship, we won it at the University of Wisconsin Fieldhouse, which was a mile from our high school. So afterwards, we walked back. A bunch of us walked back up to the high school and had a post-championship pep rally. It was pretty fun.
Right. Okay, Jay, go.
Yeah, what's common day for you at Cornell? Like, what time was your practice? What time did you devote for studies and everything?
So I benefited. So earlier I said at St. Joe's, I was taking 5 courses a semester, right? And when I transferred to Cornell, sa sobrang tanda ko na, wala namang NIL sa amin. So walang transfer portal. So at the time, ang nangyayari, you transfer Division 1 to Division 1, you have to sit out a year. You can't play. Buti na lang, napakalaking bagay sa akin yan. Kasi mas mabigat talaga yung mga studies namin. Mas madugo. So I was able to, because I still had 2 years to play after sitting out 1, I was able to spread 2 years of coursework over 3. And that let me take 4 courses a semester and sort of get used to and adjust to the new culture, the people and everything. So yeah, it was it was more challenging and more, it was great. It was great. But that year of sitting out, napakalaking bagay talaga. Mas mabigat talaga yung mga. So to answer your question, our practices started at 6 a.m. And I was trying to lobby hard against that because I like to have a little bit of fun when I was in college. And so it wasn't great.
We all did.
Yeah. 6 a.m. hurt a bit, but we Yeah, it was when you could get the gym and people had courses, and some of the courses were in the afternoon when other team, you want to practice. And sometimes we had afternoon practices. And yun talagang difference in I don't know if any kids listen to this, but when you're in college, at least sa amin, you had time. You didn't spend like 8 hours in class like you do in high school, right? You go to a course and then you figure it out. So you kind of maximize those pockets of studying in there in between weights and sleeping, or if you had too much fun, maybe sleeping something off.
Yep.
Right.
Coach, what was the competition like in the Ivy League division?
So my first year of playing, I think Jerome Allen and Matt Maloney, they were actually an NBA backcourt. Jerome played like 2 or 3 years, I think, in the NBA, and then plays an important. Matt had a little run with the Rockets. They were the prime. It's kind of like everyone was an inch or two shorter and a half step slower, but still skilled. It's just like so when the really good teams would play Ivy teams, if they didn't bring their best, we could hang for a while, and they might get surprised and a little scared, because we're not a team you get up for, and that's the case of most Ivies. But if they brought their best, we were in trouble. So Princeton could hang with anybody because they had this really this great drill, ball control, get a lot of backdoors and open threes. The Princeton offense.
The Princeton offense, right.
The inventor of it was coaching when I was playing. He actually got his 500th win against us at Cornell, so that wasn't cool. But and then the rest, there was kind of like the rest of us. It was Penn and Princeton. Penn usually had some really good, legit mid-level to maybe even higher level Division I players. Princeton had the best system, and then there was the rest of us battling out for the rest of the league.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. And this photo, when was this taken?
Are you laughing at my biceps because they're so big? Are you intimidated right now, Charlie? Those are huge. That's I think I'm 140 pounds in that picture. Yeah, I needed to get in the weight room, man. I was a skinny kid. Wala namang taong natakot sa akin nun.
What does it say on the jersey? I mean, across the front.
It says Regents.
So this is high school. This is high school still. Okay, so this is a wrong sequence on the photos, but okay.
That was in the in the state tournament.
Yeah, I was just curious. I saw the lady at the back with the sweater, Minnesota. It says
Minnesota Duluth, who's a Division II school and had a good basketball program. They were actually recruiting me pretty heavily for my junior year, but I really wanted to play D1. But great program, beautiful area. Yeah.
And then so you finish up your college career. I guess, did you have any thoughts of maybe making it as a pro in the U.S.? I mean, the NBA maybe a long shot, but there were other leagues in the States at the time. So did you try it?
No. So funny yung nangyari. So yung isa sa mga assistant coach namin, si Coach Tyrone Pitts, I'm sitting in, kasi captain ako, and I'm kind of like, I hope you guys don't take offense to this, but I think all four of us on this call are kind of like basketball nerds, right? I just love the game, and I loved watching film, and I love, I used to know everybody's stats and everything. I was a basketball nerd. So I would go to the coach's office a lot because I like watching film. So I want to watch with the coaches. So I'm in the coach's office, and I'm just talking, and they're watching film. I said, "Hey, Coach Pitts, you played as an import different places. I lived in Thailand, man. I've been all over the world. My parents brought us to Europe before. Where'd you play?" And so he started mentioning places, and then he says, "Oh, and then I was, I played in the Philippines." I said, "You played in the Philippines? That's crazy. That's where I was born." And his eyes got big. He said, "You were born in the Philippines? Oh my gosh, it was my favorite place to play." And then he started telling me about this guy, Jaworski, who's so famous, and how one of the guys he played with, his name's Johnny Abrientos, and he's a better player than I am. And he was saying all this stuff. And he said, "That's really my favorite place to play. Oh my gosh, if you're born there, I'm going to get you an agent. We're going to set this up. This is going to change your life." I was kind of like, wow. So he was the introduction accidentally in the coach's office while just talking about travel.
Nice.
Yeah.
So how did it happen? I mean, how did you finally get that, go that route to the Philippines?
so he connected me with an agent, and then there was some miscommunication to me, not from me, because I am not, even though you might think that I look really Filipino, I'm not really Filipino. I was just born there. So I couldn't play in the PBL or the PBA, and then the NBA opened, and it was just like, in my opinion, it was a God thing. I was so distraught because I had an agent telling me for a year and a half, and Sid will love this. He was saying, "Hey, you leave the school you're in now, come to UP. I'll get you University of Philippines, much better school. We'll get you playing. You're playing the PBL, and then you're playing the PBA." And he's promised me all this money. And I was like, well, okay, I'm sure it's a great school. I love my university and my team, so I'm not leaving.
Yeah,
So
Cornell. Cornell. What the hell?
Yeah. But I really love and I'm a captain of the team, right? I didn't want to leave the guys. So like, I'm going to finish and then we'll do that after. And all that stuff fell through. And so I was heartbroken. So I came home, and the guys who played for the University of Wisconsin, sila talaga yung mga kabarkada ko dito. So, kasi Madison kami, di ba? But Cornell's in New York. So, uwi ako dito sa amin. And then lalabas kami ng mga kaibigan ko sa Wisconsin. Oh, what's up, man? So, they're saying goodbye to me and ready to go. And I'm living out of their wallets. Ito yung mga college player na hindi pa binabayaran. Di ba? Kasi panahon namin, bawal yan. So I'm like, college guys are treating me to everything. And I just graduated from Cornell. And then everything falls apart and I can't go to the Philippines. So I got a different agent, and I was looking to go to like a low-level Europe for a year. Like, just let me play in Germany or Austria in like a B league, just so I can experience it and have some fun. And then he calls me up and says, "Comp." It's like November. He calls me, "Comp. We got this Filipino coach I'm talking to. He said they're starting a new league and they'll let you play. Like, we got to fly out to Los Angeles to meet him. I guess he coaches in some other league and they just won the championship, but he's helping set up a team." And so me and my agent, Jim Klibanoff, who's a director of scouting now with the Denver Nuggets, we flew out to LA and we met a gentleman named Eric Altamirano and his team, Pure Foods. And I met Coach E, Ryan Gregorio, Louis Alas. I think Frankie might have been with them, Coach Frankie. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But that was their championship team trip from winning with Pure Foods in '97. So I met him in December of '97 in a hotel. And I think Tita Marisa was there. And he was setting up the Metro Stars for sila Boss Louis and Ramon Toason and George Bernasconi and Dinky Bantog and Boss Nomi. Anyways, so, I told them, hey, look at me. My parents still have friends in the Philippines. I'm not Filipino, but I really was born there. You guys can go get the birth certificate. Like, am I really allowed to play? And they said, yes, the league's going to let you play. It's going to be really exciting. I'm helping set up the team. And, Coach E and I are incredibly close now. He ends up becoming one of the best friends in the world. And so it's so funny how it happened. The first year of the NBA, 3 or 4 months in, maybe 5 months, and maybe Sid, you can remember this better than I do. I don't know. My memory's not great anymore. Mas bata ka naman sa akin, di ba? So, I at some point in that 1998 season, I read like a press release. A letter comes out, and I see it in the paper, and I'm reading as I'm going through, and it says the NBA will no longer allow foreign players who are only born in the Philippines and do not have any Filipino lineage to play. Next line, but we will allow Alex Compton to stay. Because I was loving it. I'm like, man, I love this country. This is great. I can't wait and I thought they were going to kick me out. And I'm so blessed, guys. Like, I mean, we've all known each other for so long, but I'm so blessed because my whole life, my wife, my kids are Filipino. I consider the Philippines home. You guys are my friends. We've known each other before we all had any gray hairs. Yeah. This is, true. And none of this, like, I didn't do anything to deserve any of this. It's just, I was born there. I play basketball. Oh, you let me play? Oh, great. Thank you. Oh, wait, you're kicking me out? No, you're not? Oh, great. Thank you. And then, it ends up being this incredible life that I was just so grateful for.
But you know how it is in the Philippines, how the other teams will try whatever they can to get an edge. I'm pretty sure they protested you. They were complaining to the league officials. Why is this guy playing for Manila? Why are you allowing him right now? There was a time that happened.
Probably in the beginning. And if I had to guess now from a marketing standpoint, it was kung ang target nila boss is it Eugenio Lopez, who was the guy who was running ABS? If he was going for the PBA
Right.
at the time, then it was probably, hey, let's generate as much momentum as possible and have some new things to talk about, make some noise. And maybe I was a tiny piece of that noise in some small way that they let happen. I don't know. But yeah, we just ended up being, and you know, the perfect thing, guys, is, and this will sound, I love the PBA. Wala akong masabi sa PBA. I love the PBA.
Mm-hmm.
But as a young guy who wanted to travel, I'm so glad the first introduction was the NBA and not the PBA.
Yeah.
Because
Sid's going to ask about that for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Ensan, Coronadal, we're in Pangasinan, we're in Pampanga, we're like, I get to see the Philippines. And I'm like, oh, there's Kapampangan, Pangalato, and what, they're speaking Ilonggo and Gensan? Wait, I thought this was Mindanao.
And when you were still single at the time, right?
Yes, I was. And I'm very married now, Charlie. So yeah.
I'm just saying.
I just wanted to point out, because you know, a lot of our previous guests who also were there for the first few years of the NBA, they share a lot of stories about being on the road. You know, so.
I just stayed home and watched film, and that's all.
Right.
Okay.
That's all I've got to say about that.
No, but seriously, coach, on the court, did you sense any sort of resentment from some of the other players? You know, being
Were they
who's this
beating
white
you
guy
up?
here? Yeah.
Were the guards beating you up? Like, who's
Yeah.
this Kano? Why is he here?
What's this guy doing here? He doesn't belong here. You know, anything like that?
If they did, I didn't feel it was because I was a foreigner as much as they were trying to win. And in my first 4 years, I think as long as I was in the NBA, I had the ball in my hands a lot, not all the time. You know, our best MetroStars teams, I didn't ISO or have the ball all the time. Like a lot of guys brought the choo-choo, and Gilbert brought the ball down. Other guys brought the ball down. But I did have the ball a lot, and I did score a lot. So I was a target, just like any other leading scorer or threat would be. So I didn't think there was a lot of PI mo, you know, I didn't feel like, you know, I felt like it was a more like just a general PI mo. You know?
Okay.
Bugin ka namin. Mananalo kami dito.
What about the rivalry ng PBA NBA? That was the peak of the rivalry.
Yeah.
98 when the NBA opened, the PBA struggled to find allowed more Phil Force to come in, which eventually became Phil Shams.
Yep. So I really feel like the excitement around the NBA was amazing. And
it was.
Kung ako ang tatanungin mo, we got too big too fast. We got too greedy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So eto talaga, kasi negosyo to eh. So we can say like, oh, player ako, ito lang iniisip ko, laro, o masayang fans. Okay, magkano kayang ticket sa Gensan compared sa Araneta? Anong travel cost ng PBA team? Eh wala. Walang aeroplano, walang hotel, walang ano. Sa amin meron, right? So there's all these added factors, like brilliant idea, I love it, bring it out to the islands, get to the city, like excitement. But magastos talaga yan eh. That's not a cheap league. And then ang maganda sa amin sa una, the first couple of years, parang ang saya talaga din yung mga owner eh. Hey guys, let's go to Davao and we'll just stay one extra day and we'll take you to Pearl Farm. Okay? You know, right? Sure. And,
why not?
Yeah, there was a lot of that, like really fun and great generosity from the bosses, and it was amazing. But sa totoo lang, magastos talaga eh. So what happened with the NBA, and I think nangyari sa amin ni Romel, like so Vince and Bong, so Vince Hizon, Bong Alvarez, and Bong Ravena came into the league. All of them can play, wala akong masabi. All legit players. Great NBA players. Obviously, before that, great PBA players. Bong's Mr. Excitement. I think Bong Ravena was one of the most well-rounded guys. I hated it when he guarded me. So, but they came in and they had PBA salaries and we didn't yet, right? So the rest of the league, masaya naman kami sa sahod namin, right? We're all good. But now we know what they're making. And they come in after our first year and ang taas talagang bayad sa kanila, which is dapat lang if you're trying to shift from a business standpoint, bring guys to the NBA para matalo ang PBA sa NBA. Kaya lang, ang nangyari, they would put out these like, I don't know if you remember, Sid, these papers that had like who's the most popular players, and then they'd show the stats, and it was always like this, it was a marketing hype. It was all the ABS power behind it. And so Romel and I would frequently be two of the top 5 popular players. So with Tisoy, John Ferriols, right? Like Jerome Ejercito would be in there. Of course, Ato Agustin, that's a given. He's an MVP. But so at the end of the year, when the Metro Stars won the championship, and it was like Romel or I could have been the MVP, and we won 22 straight. Pareho naman ang agent namin lumapit sa mga bosses and said, hey, if you're paying these ex-PBA guys this, and these guys are your most popular players and they just went on their run, and that happened across the league. Okay. So all of a sudden, tumaas talaga lahat ng mga sahod ng mga players, and the league at its core from a business standpoint, gastos siya, right? So it just, unfortunately, because it was such a wonderful league, unfortunately we grew too fast. I would have, honest to goodness, I would have taken way less money than I got for my third year, but it was sort of, oh, this is the standard. Oh, okay, well then we'll go there. And what did I know? I'm just some kid who like really happy, like, oh my gosh, you're going to pay me this? Okay, this is great.
Yeah, you're just trying to make a living, right?
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
Grabe nga yung nangyari. Sayang nga. Pero saya talaga. What's your favorite venue aside from, of course, playing in San Andres? What's your favorite venue to go to play?
So historically, we had an incredible time in Cebu, even though they beat us a lot, because it was so loud, especially in that first finals that we won. We won the second NBA championship in '99. The first one with Pampanga won in '98. But for us, the first one we were in was in '99. And oh my gosh, like, I don't know the new Cebu City Coliseum, right? It's the new one. So when we were there, it wasn't exactly new. And if you ever get hit with a 5 peso piece in the head thrown to the rafters, that leaves a mark, man. We took some shots after winning some games there. And it was fun because, if you think about like yung team nila, Steven Padilla played in the PBA. I don't know. See Mike. I don't know, Mike Manigo, did he play in the PBA? I know he played in the PBO for a while.
Hindi yata.
Okay, but he was a tough guard. He was scrappy. Rob Wainwright obviously had a long career.
Yeah.
Pang-import talaga ang laro ni Matt Mitchell. And obviously Don Don's like a legend, right? He's Don Don. Yeah. So they had all these great players. It was a really loud Coliseum. We had some incredible games. The most exciting game I've ever been in was Game 5 of the finals. And it was like 135 to 129 double overtime game.
That's the shootout that you guys had, right? You and Don were just exchanging baskets. That was crazy.
It was just like the best. It was just the best game I've ever been a part of, considering the stakes. It was 2-2. We're playing there. And this whole thing I started talking to you guys about being team. We won the game because in the third overtime, Coach Louis had pushed all of our players so hard, even hindi yung mga hindi ginagamit masyado during the year, they were still in shape. And if you watch that I don't know, second overtime or third, whatever we won it, that last portion, they scored all the points for us. Cesar Brown, Pritchie Ang, Jojo Brinas, guys who never got credit, they came in fresh and they played and they made plays because we had such a competitive environment the whole time. And it's team, like I had nothing. So on a Saturday night in Game 4, I played 46 minutes. Walang aircon. Salamat. The next day we played, it's Saturday, Sunday, I played 56 minutes. I'm dead. I'm useless by the third. I have nothing. And those guys made all the plays and carried us in. And in Game 6, I was still dead. Like it was the only game I think that whole season I didn't hit a 3. I wasn't a good player, but we were all so tired. And like they were tired, I was tired. The rest of our team carried us to the championship. It was awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we have a
galing
good comment here
talaga.
from Ferdinandes. Can we
Yeah.
show that again? Yeah,
Yeah.
aside from that championship in '99, Coach, you guys went on a 22-game winning streak, which still stands as the longest winning streak by any professional team in the Philippines to broke Crispa's record, right, of 21. I've always wanted to ask, were you guys aware that 21 was the record set by Crispa, and were you aiming for that? Were you really shooting for 22 straight? Because you lost in the 23rd, the 23rd game. So I was wondering, once you got to 22, nakahinga na ba kayo na, finally we broke the record?
I think we were just all so tired. I don't recall ever having that target.
Mhm.
What I do recall is those were that year of practice with Coach Louis as our coach was the single hardest and yet most fun practice I had ever had as a player. And we all battled, and he mixed the teams up all the time. We play a lot of 4-on-4 full court press. We play a lot of, and it was like healthy, intense competition. I love Fritchie Young. He's a good friend of mine. He bloodied my lip a few times. Romel would knock you down. You know, Ruben De La Rosa was like just absolute the first Calvin Abueva. He's everywhere, just knocking guys. Like the competition was so intense that I think we just carried that through. Like there were times where I remember thinking like, Fritz, you just took me out, buddy. Like this is practice. Like, but he's not trying to hurt me. He's trying to make a play because he's trying to win this competition. And there was that kind of standard that carried over. And actually, I can't remember the gentleman who put that comment up there, but I remember that game where Choo Choo hit the layup. We were down. We got a steal off an inbound, and I got the ball, and I saw Choo Choo streaking, and I gave him like a 2/3, whatever, half court look away pass, and he caught it and scored an and one at the buzzer. It looked like it was a lost game. They just had to inbound it. And we got it and Choo Choo makes this miracle layup and gets fouled. And that was the game where the coins started raining down. We got hit, and my guy, Fritchie Ang, was so funny. So we're putting the towels over our head and running in afterwards. Fritchie comes in with a bunch of the coins in his hand and shows the camera and goes, "Thank you for the money." It was fun. But I don't think that was to answer your question, Sid. I don't think that it was a target. And then maybe we heard about it after that, because after that, I think we got beat handily in Iloilo or in Antique, I think, by Iloilo. And we were tired. And sabi ni Coach Louis, pahinga muna kayo. Wag muna tayo mag-ensayo. Pagod na pagod kayo. He had pushed us so hard. He knew he made the right call. Like we needed a break. And we got one. Yeah.
And of course, there's also All-Star weekends over at the NBA. This is the 98 All-Star game. You're the North All-Stars. You mentioned Ato, of course, Romel. But the other guys, Eddie Lau, and then si Long David, who's also been on our show, Dave Bautista, B-Boy Simon, who was the guy scoring 40 points a game.
Randy Alcantara.
Randy Alcantara. Okay, that's him. And that's Guido, the late Guido, and Estrong.
Strong Ballesteros.
Strong. Yep. They were all players. Estone Ballesteros was a problem in the post. He could score. He could shoot the three, and he could score. He had a funky game, and he was left-hander, and he had a little step back with that. All those guys could play. And the guy who actually gave me on that lineup, two guys, well, I got to give credit to B-Boy Simone, who scored 53 points on us in like my second or third game. 53. Yeah. That's crazy. He had 53 points, but the two guys I had the hardest time with in that first year consistently were Jerome Ejercito, who was a really good post player for a point guard, and I never had to play post defense. No point guards posted up. So he abused me in the post. I mean, it should have been an automatic double. Any time I went straight up, he's scoring or getting fouled. He just abused me in the post. And then Ato's a legend, and he I think he just kind of smirked at me when I was guarding him. He's just like, how do you want me to score on you this time? It was just so easy for him. And, I had a lot to learn.
Coach, in 1999, Willie Miller joined the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
He was big in the NCAA. Were you excited when you saw him coming into the NBA?
I was jealous. I was jealous of Willie, and I'll tell you why I was jealous. Like
Okay.
I could weakly dunk, like get my hand about this high over the rim and just give one of those little like, wag na lang. It's not really exciting if you try. Don't, it's just-
I-layup mo na lang. Oh.
in one of our first games, and it was, gosh, Fritchie Young keeps coming up for some reason, but tumatakbo si Willie sa fast break, tapos hindi ko alam kung sino nagpass sa kanya, but dumating yung pass up. So it's almost like a football player like running down this way. He caught it. Kasi height ko si Willie. He's not a big guy, right?
Yep.
And he caught it, and he didn't even dribble, and he took 1-2 steps, and he went up, and Fritchie, who's 6'2" and athletic, jumps with him, and Willie dunked on him. And I was like, oh, I wish I could do that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the saving grace with Willie for me when I had to guard him is by the end of Willie's PBA career, he was one of the best shooters in the country. But when he came into the NBA, he didn't shoot outside of 15 feet. So I was 7 feet off of Willie when he caught it off a three. Be like, oh, please shoot. Please don't go by me. So
You're gonna slam it with your head.
special. He was so
He was
good.
really ultra athletic for his size, right?
Yeah.
I keep comparing him to when I say Baron Davis. He was that type of
Oh
player.
yeah, that's a great. You know what, Charlie? I've never heard that comparison. I really
Yeah.
like that. That's
big and burly, but then he can leap and then slam it over anybody.
oh man, that's a really good body type. And I'm sure Willie's super skinny now at our age, but
Huh?
He's an assistant for Convergent, and
Yeah.
he's
Yes.
skinny.
He's been hitting the buffet table a little too much lately, but yeah, he's still a funny guy to be around.
oh, so much fun to be around. What a great guy.
I'm sure he's teaching a lot of those young guys a lot of
That's
his
a quick
tricks.
side note. Whenever I see when he played for Nueva Ecija, one of his assistants, I think, was Jojo Villa, and then and this will come up later, Coach. But Jojo also lectured at Coach Now. If you remember that, that was the best coaching clinic back then. And he said he was using Willie Miller as an example. And he said, "Hindi pa pinapanganak ang taong kayang bumantay kay Willie Miller. Ganon siya kagaling." And he said that in front of so many coaches. So yeah, that's pretty high praise, right, for Willie. And that's how the coaches viewed him. That's how the coaches viewed him. That's
He was
he
explosive and strong and shifty, and I think he's the only guy that reminds me of him in terms of the transformation he made was Jason Castro. And it's like this because Jason's so explosive. Jason also didn't shoot the ball well. When I was in the PBL and had to guard Jason, it was like, man, I'm giving you 7 feet. Like, there's no way I'm keeping you in front of me. Please shoot a jump shot. And Jason, by the end of his career, was one of the best shooters in the PBA. Right? Same thing. It's a learnable skill. But if those guys had it with as athletic as they were when they were young, that's it.
Of course.
Double right leg over half court. Yeah.
Right. This is your MVP trophy, I suppose, right? And and then you had the mythical five. That's Romel, Don Tisoy, and that's Don Bell, right? Belano.
Yeah. The cat.
Yeah, he was a good.
He got a quadruple double. How about that?
Yeah.
3
That's
rebounds
right.
and steals.
Davao, right?
Like 30 points or whatever he had that game. He was a do-it-all guy.
And he was a great backup to Jimmy with TNT for many years.
Oh, he could play. In fact, one of my favorite memories, I don't know if I told you guys this. Naalala niyo ba yung Rizal Gym sa Davao? Pumunta ba kayo?
Yeah, I've never been there. I've never been there.
So
See, Noel probably went there.
Yeah, Noel's been around.
But Noel's not here, right, Alex? So
yeah. Well, he's got more important things to do. He's probably washing his hair. Like that's what he thinks of me. I get it, Noel. Like you got to comb your beard or something. Like, okay, I miss you too, man. No, but we're playing in Davao in '99, and when we're on that winning streak, I think it's like 16. We'd won something like 16 straight at the time, and then Belano hits a 3 with under 2 minutes left. And I remember it's the only gym I've ever been in. I mean, I played at Kansas when it's loud. I played at Arizona. I've played in Cebu when it's loud. When we were with Alaska, we played Ginebra when we won in 2013 when Luigi was coaching. It was so loud. I've never been in a gym that was like this. So Belano hits a 3, cuts our lead down to 2. And I'm bringing the ball down, guys. So I'm bringing the ball down. And I'm trying to call a play. And all I can hear of my own voice is this. I can't hear my own voice, and my ears hurt. So it's one of those low-roof gyms that the second deck had fencing around it, I guess, to prevent people from throwing stuff on the court. And everybody was screaming so loud that my ears hurt, and I couldn't hear my own voice. So I just had to call for a pick and roll with Romel because I couldn't even hear myself. It was the most, like, incredible. And I remember, like, smiling a little bit as I'm coming down because I was thinking, this is so cool. My ears hurt. I've never been in like this.
Grabe atmosphere talaga. I'm pretty sure the home teams, the home crowd would really cheer their teams on. Diba? Pero imagine nag-MVP ka ngayon, lalaki mga kalaban mo, sila Ferriol, sila Adukol, pero ikaw yung maliit, pero MVP ka, diba? And you're like Tiny Archibald. There was a comment earlier because you led the league in scoring and assists.
Yeah. Well, we had a lot of threats though, so we ran the offense pretty well. And but because it's easier to lead the league in scoring when there's illegal defense and you're shooting the ball well, but they have to worry about doubling Romel. We had Don Camaso, legit PBA player also. We had Gilbert Demape, who was a great breakdown guy. We had Ruben Hessling. We had a guy named June Langalong, who was a scorer in the post. We didn't play some games very much, but he would come in in one quarter, all of a sudden June just got 10 points, and you're like, and then we had Peter Martin, who's, just he was our anchor and our captain ball. He didn't score a lot, he didn't shoot a lot, but we had all these threats. So then now I'm getting wide open. That makes your life a little easier.
Right. But how did you feel about it? There were special rules in the NBA, something about that, like the free 3, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
And di ba yung mga ganyan, di ba? Sid, yung mga ganyan. What did you feel about that? Because you're a basketball purist, so all these little pull on the side. How do you feel about those? Parang 4-point shot ngayon.
So at first, I thought the free 3 was kind of weird. And I thought, well, shoot, man, I can shoot it. This might be good. But what I realized is because I was being guarded well, I like getting 2 free throws because it's 2 chances. It's like an extra rep. So to have 2 unobstructed, get myself set, extra repetitions from the free throw line, I felt like helped my shot more than 1 free 3, which felt a little bit like gambling. And maybe if I got my head around it more, I would have taken more free 3s, but I really liked getting 2 free throws. Like it just like settled me and helped me with my stroke. And I know Don probably hit more of them than I did because I really didn't like taking them that much. I'm a little guy, so a lot of times I didn't see the rim real well. So being able to see it was helpful.
Okay.
Yeah,
What's the next quote?
Also about that free 3. It's not as easy as you think if you're a shooter to just stand there and take a 3-point shot all alone, right? I mean, you're not in the flow of the game. You're not in the rhythm, and it's harder na umasinta raw. You share that?
Yeah, I think you're right, Sid. And I think the other thing is, if I recall, you couldn't. It's like a free throw in that you couldn't jump across the 3-point line, if I remember. So there's that whole sort of, and you never practice shooting a 3 and make sure you don't land on the line, right? You're just a shooter. So, it's not that it was a bad rule or weird. I mean, from those innovations, we were the first league in the world to have 8 seconds to get it over half court. I mean, the world took that, right? So not every innovation you try to bring out is going to work. The 8 seconds did. That one maybe didn't stick, and I guess we'll see about the 4-point shot. But did I ever tell you guys what I think about the 4-point shot?
Not yet.
So I would have loved the 4-point shot because I was comfortable shooting the ball from far. But now everybody shoots, not a big deal. But I actually would love to see the NBA and leagues around the world that have a long 3 have a 2.5-point shot, which is the current 3. And because the 4 of us can go stand in a corner and catch a pass and shoot an open 3, and the fans aren't going to ooh and ah. But let any of us at our ages try to rip and go by somebody and make some Willie Miller up in the air move, like that's hospital. We're going to the hospital. It's not happening. We can't do it. But amazing athletes can do it, right?
Yeah.
And the amazing athletes make you go ooh and ah. So if you change the value of the shot enough to change the analytics where it's more rewarding to attack, now you're enhancing the great athleticism of the players. You're encouraging taking it to the basket's more rewarding. Right? And it's funny because I'm a little guy who shot the ball. But I mean, that's one of my weird thoughts that no one will ever take up. The math won't work. 2.5 that. But I would love to see that in place.
Right. Let's talk about this fellow in the Barong Tagalog with you over there. Si Romel Aducul, he had a great NBA career, moved over to the PBA, and maybe it wasn't as great as his NBA career when he went to the PBA. But what was his impact on the NBA and in your career early?
Well, so if you guys remember, it was Romel and Danny I. They were the two, and it wasn't close. They were the two best players in college. It wasn't close. It was clear these were the guys.
Tama.
I'm so happy I got one of them, and I'm friends with both of them. But I'm so happy I got one of them because as a little guy to have a great big man, it changes your world. It just changes your world. And Romel so he was big, he was strong, but he could run and he could catch. You guys have seen this. There's a lot of big guys who are big and strong and they don't run so well. Or there's big guys who maybe can run, but maybe they're not so great at catching. Or the big guys, Romel could run, he could catch, he could finish, he was strong, he could defend. And he's one of two big men I've ever played with. And he was the first one I think I ever did it with, where I would intentionally, there's something I call a passing window or passing alley, where the hands of the defense are like here, and I've only got a small window I can get it through to get it to you. I could intentionally throw a ball behind Romel, almost like his back shoulder, because he could still catch it on the way to the basket. He was that coordinated, could catch it and turn and finish. That, for most of us point guards, if you do that, it's your turnover. Yeah, it's a turnover. Like, why are you throwing it? But he could catch it. He could do it. That's how coordinated he was. So he's your anchor on defense. He rebounds everything. And then he took off like a track star. Like when we were playing together, he was running. Like he had a bunch of sprint the floor down the middle, catch it and just smash it, just dunk it on somebody. And then in the pick and roll, when you're playing, my favorite player is Stockton. So I get to play with Malone. When you have that threat roll into the basket, it with illegal defense, there are so many openings when there's illegal defense. It just makes the game so much easier. So are you going to Romel? Are you going to help from the weak side? Oh, Gilbert DeMape is wide open in the corner. Are you helping off of Peter Martin? He's diving right to the basket. Are you, there's all these threats out there that, I mean, it was really fun playing with them. It was just really fun.
Who's this guy guarding you on the right side?
Pido, right?
Okay, it's Pido.
Yeah.
Marlon Pido?
Yeah. I believe so. I think the last time I saw him, he was coaching.
Dragons.
Yeah. He's a tough guard.
What's the event? What's the event you guys are wearing Barong Tagalog? Was this a wedding or something?
Yeah. Some white guy I know married the most beautiful Filipina ever.
Okay. So that's your wedding. Okay. That's your wedding. All right.
Alex, Coach, there was a major seismic change in 2001. You moved from Manila to Batangas. How that happened?
Well, I think at its core is my guess. I wasn't involved in this process whatsoever. I was just a player, but was part of the costing of the league. And, maintaining a team that travels and flies everywhere. And, so you don't think about, it's just plane fare. No, there's plane fare. There's hotel. There's food. Ang takaw talaga ng mga player. Right. And you got players, coaches, and utility staff. So you're traveling with like 20. That's 20 flights, a bunch of rooms, a bunch of food. And so we merged with Batangas, and they took me, Romel, Pedro, and Chuchu Serrano. And we went we went to join Eddie Lowry and Tony Boy and Jeff Sanders, and we had a squad. Coach Nash coached us, and Coach Eric Gonzalez, and we Coach J.M. Pilares. We had a squad. I mean, so I have Romel, and then Tony Boy, by the way, was a really good and smart point guard, and Ralph Rivera with us, who could also shoot the ball, and Jeff was an athlete on the wings. But now you have Eddie Laure, who is arguably, depending, because I think Tisoy might have left, I'm not sure, but in worst case, Eddie is a top 3 power forward in our league. So we have arguably the best center, one of the top 3, if not the best power forwards, and then good guys around him and a good coach. Like that was a fun team to be a part of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pero sandali na lang yan. Yung NBA kasi suddenly, as you said, suddenly it was gone.
Yeah.
And so you had to move on. Let's move to the next photo. This is the most important photo.
Okay, yeah. You have a lot.
Wow.
You have a lot of explaining to do here, Coach. What is this about?
That's Levi's. Yeah, but go.
We're getting the band back together. All right. So the craziest thing is the national marketing director for Levi's, who got us all to be a endorser. She's a really good friend, and she's my business partner's wife.
Okay.
So her husband and I, he's an American guy also. She was my friend first, and then he started courting her, and they ended up getting married. But this is how I got to know Tinay. It was through this. She asked me, and it was only me and Jason, who are the basketball players here. So there's Basti, Bastier Tadi, Rockstar, Joey Mead, Model, G Tanji, Casey and Troy, and then Carlos Agassi. And so, like, I don't remember the name of the team, but they paid us to hang out. And this is like, I love everybody in this shot. It was so much fun being around all of them. And but this is like the bad part of celebrity when you're a basketball player, is that you start to be like, oh man, I get to literally hang out with rock stars and models and actresses. And it was funny. I was talking to Casey and Troy, and we're all hanging out one night. And Casey's like, yeah, man, hey, what's the most people you ever played in front of? And I can't remember what I said or where we played, but it was like maybe Kansas, 16,000 or something. And anyways, he's like, wow. And then I was like, wait, Basti, what's the most amount of people you ever played in front of? Basti's like, yeah, well, we had a Hard Rock event in Mindanao. It was about 90,000. I was just like, oh my gosh. Can you imagine Wolfgang, the kind of music that they play with Basti doing rock or whatever, and 90,000 people jumping up and down, like, oh, what a crazy rush. So let's just say after we won the championship and the MVP, I needed more guidance because I loved hanging out with these guys too much. And I think I didn't have my best basketball year that year. And they're all great. Like, they weren't bad influences. It's just like, it was like a new experience in life. Like, I'm a young kid, I'm 26. And all of a sudden I got these super cool friends I get to hang out with. This is awesome. And I could have used a little more focus. Let's just say that.
Yeah, but then your career continued. You played in the PBL. You won a championship. Also, you won a sportsmanship award with the PBL, right? At Montana. Then champion kayo. So okay pa rin. Tuloy-tuloy pa rin. But then, obviously, hindi ka kasi pwede mag-PBA at that point, di ba? Hindi ka naman pwede Pero nahanap mo yung slot mo as a coach first, right? They got you as a coach. How'd you end up being a coach in the PBA?
So funny story. So first of all, I'm so grateful to Commissioner Chino Trinidad and the PBL board, because I'm just waiting for any time for them to kick me out. Like, I don't deserve any of this. As far as I know, ako lang yung foreigner na maglaro as a local. Openly.
Yeah.
Right?
Openly.
Like openly.
Yeah, openly. Okay.
And I'm like, I'm just waiting. You guys can take this away anytime, but as long as you keep giving me this gift, I will readily receive the gift. Thank you. Right. And so I'm just waiting, and the PBL let me play, and I kind of mentally shifted during the PBL days to like, I'm kuya. Now I'm not that old, but these are like college kids, and I can't play in the PBA. So, like an honest thing, and I think my coaches may not have loved it, but like we're playing ICTSI and Joseph Yo's out there. And somebody shooting free throws. I'm like, Joseph, you do a great job going to the basket, man, but you really got to keep working on that three because you go to the PBA, you're gonna be playing. Like I'm coaching him during the game, and he's on the other team. And I don't know. I'm not saying that I was giving him great coaching, but I just really wanted to see these guys succeed because mga bata pa sila, di ba? And so it's like my whole mindset was different. And then so I was. It wasn't like I was checked out of competing. I was still trying. But I just wanted to see all these guys, kind of be maximized. Anyways, so I thought I was done. Tapos na eh. I mean, tama lang naman eh. I was 32 years old, and Commissioner Trinidad's like, ano na? Like, ikaw lang ata yung it's a league for developing Filipino players, and you're the old white guy. Like, you're not playing until you're 60. Like, time to go. But he was so gracious and kind about it, and I didn't ask for anything. He said, hey, since it's going to be your last game, can I ask you to speak? And he wanted me to give a speech. So I'm like, okay, sure. I'm grateful for all you've done. So thank you. So that's all done. I think I'm retired. Boss Raymond Yu, who I just absolutely love. Boss Raymond Yu calls me up and says, hey, Alex, this is Raymond Yu. We're just joined the PBA. I want to talk to you about offering you a job on our coaching staff. And you guys know I'm a Christian guy, and so I really felt like internally I had a yes. It was like I felt like the Lord was like, yes. My whole life, though, I had always been saying, whatever I do, I'll never coach. When I'm done playing, I'm done. I will never coach. Those guys work so hard. World's too interesting. I want to go somewhere else. I mean, I have all these cool things to see. And so I felt like I was supposed to say yes, but my whole life I'd say never coach. So I said, okay, boss, can you give me 30 days? There's some things I'm working on that I just want to make sure I pursue. He said, okay, but that's it. You tell me by then, or that's it. And, what a gracious guy. Who am I to even say that, right? I didn't mean to be arrogant. So anyways, that's what happened. So all these other doors for opportunities that I thought I had, boom, cerrado, boom, cerrado, boom, cerrado, boom, cerrado. I'm like, wow. Okay. And I go back to Boss Raymond. I just want to say thank you for offering me the job. And yes, I'll gladly take it. And what do I do? That, like, literally the day after I tell him that and accept the job, an agent for the U.S. who had seen me play in Indianapolis at Butler University with some other pros, the leading scorer in Russia. I brought Kelly Williams there prior to the draft. We had done this missions trip with Champions for Christ in Colombia. There's a Butler team. There's all these guys. There's this agent was watching. He'd come up and talk to me. He's like, hey, man, where do you play? I can get you some looks. I'm like, okay. So go back to Boss Raymond. As soon as I say yes to Boss Raymond, that agent, Chris Warren, calls me and goes, where have you been? I've been emailing you. I've been calling you. I have a job for you in Finland to be the point guard for this. But apparently you don't want to play anymore because you're not going to return any of my messages. I was like, oh, my gosh. I would have taken that in a heartbeat. It's Europe. It's like a chance to see the world, even if they cut me after a month. But I'd already committed to Boss Raymond, so I didn't have a choice. And so that's how I started with Welco.
So, Coach, what happened to those emails? I just need to ask. Where did they go? They are spam or
Spam.
So I don't know, and I don't think he had any reason to call me to lie about it. Like I'm in Manila, right? He's in Indianapolis, but unless he's thinking of some other guy named Alex who played in the Philippines, he might have been trying to get in touch with Crisano. I don't know. Play the point.
Alex C.
Alex. Alex Cabagnot pala, no?
Yeah, right.
Coach, also before you joined Welco, I remember you had a show, right, Solar? You hosted this basketball show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's where we first met. You guys had me on as a guest.
With Cheska?
It was about the UAAP.
Was it with Cheska?
Yeah.
Hoop Nation?
I think so, but the producer was Donna Reyes. That's
She
was the one who invited me to guest, and I think that's the first
awesome.
time. Yeah, that's the first time I met you face to face. What was the name of that show again? I keep forgetting.
Wasn't it Hoop Nation?
Oh yeah, it's probably it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I guested with Waylon Galvez, and
Yeah.
I think it was Jasmine Payo of something quieter. There were like the three of us.
Yeah.
So nervous. I remember.
Mhm.
My first
Make
TV.
it too harder.
Yeah, I just remember. I
TV host na
I
rin
was
si
looking for a photo of that. I was looking
Yeah,
for a
yeah.
photo of that online so we could show it today, but I couldn't remember the name of the show. That's why
Yeah.
I didn't know what to search for. So yeah.
Man, if Sid, if you find any of those, can you let me know?
Send it. Yeah.
I should have
Send it
messaged
over.
Donna actually. I probably should have messaged Donna.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any pictures. Maybe Cheska has some too.
Coach, there's a comment you need to see. Alex
that?
Compton, mayabang yan eh.
Ay, yun talaga eh. Kasi ang problema nito, wala namang buhok eh. Ganon. Yung araw sa ano mo eh. Sa utak mo eh. Yun talaga eh, mga kuya ko. Medyo may tama eh.
Thanks for watching, brother Peter. Diba, siyempre,
Coach, when you
No, man, do better than that.
Coach, when you joined the PBA, you were an import. No, what kind of pressure did that bring? Imports were supposed to score like 25
ba't ka
points.
pumayag? Ba't ka pumayag mag-import?
Oh.
So funny story. That before that conference started, I didn't know that sila Boss Raymond were trying to help me get a chance to play in the PBA. Siyempre, expansion franchise lang kami. Well, Coach, no, we were 3-15. The fact that we won 3 games, Coach Leo was doing a great job. And then it was back when there was 2 conferences. There wasn't 3. And so Coach Leo, before the lead up to the second conference, started having me practice with the team sometimes. And I just thought they needed a body. But I wasn't like really working out. And I didn't know, siguro partner didn't see Coach Leo dito. He wanted to help me out. I don't know. He's such a great guy. I love Coach Leo. He beat me in the finals all the time. Love him. But they have me play in a tune-up game, and I still love playing, right? So I'm still in good enough shape to play with these guys, and I love playing. And I'm practicing occasionally, and then he said, "Oh, we're down some players. Can you play in the tune-up game with us against Pure Foods?" I was like, "I'm the bottom coach on the team, but if you want me to play, sure, it'll be fun. I'll play against these guys." This is a tune-up game, so I play. Get done playing, and somebody hands me a phone and says, "Boss Raymond wants to talk to you." So I'm like, "Okay, hey boss, what's happening? What can I do for you?" I'm bottom coach on the totem pole, so I don't like talk to Boss Raymond all the time. And hey boss, yeah, what can I do for you? Hey Alex, I just wanted to say congratulations. You're going to be our second import in the PBA this conference, and the league opened in 4 days. So I went, "Oh my gosh, boss, that's awesome. Thank you." And I looked down at my belly and I went, "Oh no." I was not in, I was thinking I'm a coach who helps out from time to time. But it was, so for me, more than anything, it was just like received with gratefulness and like, oh no, I got to catch up. Like I would train hard before and I wasn't training hard. And so I feel like, to answer your question, I wasn't pressured because we weren't good and I wasn't good. It was like, go out there and do your best and have fun. And so we did. And, Charlie, I don't want to brag, but I led the historic turnaround for the Wellcoat franchise. And we went from 3-15 to 4-14. One of the greatest turnarounds.
And then you did it again, right? The next season, they got you again for a second round.
Well, they had a better player than me come in. I was starting to train for it the next year, and it was getting that time where they actually wanted to win. So they got a better small import than me, a guy named Corey Santee, and then they saw it was falling apart, that we weren't going to go make the playoffs. So they sent Corey home early and then let me play, and so I played like the last 3 or 4 games, and wasn't. Yeah, I was far from great, but it was, honestly, man, it's like you say thank you. I got to play. It was fun. Thank you for letting me play.
Yeah, 13 points a game, almost 14 points a game, 5.5 assists a game.
I
21
was,
games.
it took me a while to get in sync, and that second time around, I don't think I ever got in sync. I was just I was really done. But it was, well, I mean, I was happy to be playing. Don't get me wrong.
No, but everyone was happy. I remember we were calling those games and we were saying, "Hey, he finally made it to the PBA."
Yeah.
Right? And because by that time you had become a parang icon ka na rito sa Pilipinas, pero di ka pa nakakalaro sa PBA. So when you were there, people were cheer. I remember you make a shot, the crowd would cheer.
Yeah,
We on the panel would start shouting also, because he made a shot. Alex Compton makes a shot.
yeah.
I mean, it wasn't.
Oh.
Yeah, it was far from NBA Alex Compton, but still, you were playing in the PBA, and we all got excited about that. That was awesome. Pero tumuloy-tuloy na yung coaching mo after that. Let's go to the next photo. Of course, it's this lineup galing rin. If you look at some of the players that
my
you forgot
man,
Denver Lopez. I'm sure you forgot Denver Lopez already,
Denver
guys.
Lopez, yeah.
Diba?
Sige, pinaka bottom right.
Si
Jason
Coach Leo Austria.
Coach Okay.
Diba? Yan ang coach nila, diba? Okay, so the rest we know naman, sila Froilan, sila Hercules.
Okay.
Diba?
Yeah.
I forgot that File played for Wellcoat.
Ako rin eh.
And of course, the late Joey Mente. Jay Sagad, sandaling sa dili lang yan. One season lang yan.
Jojo Tangkay, who shot the ball every time he got it.
Hercules. Hercules.
Yeah, he can score.
Okay, and then Jaire, of course, UP Fight. Okay, next, let's go to the next photo. And then your coaching career continues. From Wellcoat, you jump to Powerade, and that's at the seminar of Sid.
Yes,
right?
This is coach now. I think this is the first one, 2009. Or maybe the second one, 2010. So you lectured on shooting drills, if I'm not mistaken, Coach Alex, right?
Yeah, and never has there been a greater coaching clinic ever organized than Coach Now. I just want to say, Pop has followed that, and no, seriously, honestly, Sid, what's great, and this is like I'm joking because we all do whatever, but there's like in those stands, all of those guys are coaches who got something, and when a coach gets something, the players get something. And it's like a constant, you're never supposed to stop learning. And so as they keep learning that something in their tool, and it doesn't go to those players for that year. It goes to the players they coach the following year. And if they take 2 years off and then come back, it goes to those players 2 years later. And so I love coaching clinics. And it's not because they are the magic pill, but it's the consistency and constancy of them that are not refreshers, but are like that constant feeding. Like you got to eat every day, right? You learn a little more, I don't use what you can, keep growing. So I was grateful and honored to be there and teach on it. I don't think I put more than half of them to sleep. It was good.
No, they enjoyed that. They enjoyed it. That year, I think we had Toroman, we had Dr. George Canlas, Norman Black.
Anong year yan, partner?
2010. I think this was 2010. Yeah, so obviously sa Loyola gym pa siya noon, Ateneo gym ang tawag. So, and then after that, Powerade. You joined Powerade.
Coach Bo Perasol.
Yes.
And you don't just coach, you also play golf.
Yeah, that's the late Ricky in between you and Coach Bo. Right?
Who's that?
Yeah.
Who's in yellow?
Coach Ricky Dandan.
The late Ricky Dandan.
He was my first coach ever.
Yeah. Coach Ricky
in the Philippines.
Sorry.
It was really cool because, he would Coach Ricky was just always direct, right? And so I was a rookie under him.
That voice pa, no? It was
Cano, let's go, play some defense, right? And but he wasn't like mad or demeaning. We just had a great relationship. And then we got to be colleagues. It's like just sort of the cool thing where you go from he's my coach when I'm a rookie to we get to be colleagues together. And so he ran the defense at Powerade and I ran the offense. And because we had such a great relationship, it wasn't one of those like, akin to, don't throw your ideas. It was always like, he would say like, hey, Alex, maybe if we put this pin down over here, it'd be great. And like defensively, I'd say like, coach, our bottom guy of this 131, it's got to be so and so or so and so. We're really getting slow. It's like this guy's running out of gas, and we wouldn't take offense. It was like real friends. It went from coach to friend, and then
I was just wondering why you're not the one handling the defense.
well, I wonder why. Is it my 5'11" lead wingspan, or is it my defensive assist that no one else could understand? But on the right, the golf, Coach Bo plays golf. Coach Ricky and I did something else, but it wasn't golf.
Okay.
Coach Bo is good. Coach Bo.
You probably gulped. You gulped.
Yeah. So it was great. Love those guys. Great memories. Powerade. A funny story with Coach Bo. I didn't know Coach Bo personally. I knew who he was. He had coached with Laguna, and we had seen each other. But it wasn't like I knew him. And I had left Rain or Shine to focus on starting the NBTC. Alam niyo ba yung kwento na yan? So kami ni Coach E, it was Coach E's idea. We had finished a Nike Elite Camp, and we're processing. We start talking about the NBTC or about what we can do to help more players and coaches. And in this few-hour brainstorm, we come out with the first version of the NBTC. And then we're going to start it. And I'm coaching with Rain or Shine, but I have this strong conviction that this NBTC thing could be really good for the Philippines. Like this, I think this has potential to be like long-term impactful. So I had to go to Boss Raymond and say, Boss, I love you guys, love the team, love Kaloy, but I can't be your lead assistant and be on the road 3 to 4 days for this NBTC thing. But I feel like I'm supposed to do this. I'm going to be traveling around to the provinces doing what Sid Ventura taught me, and that is put on coaching clinics and try to train guys and teach them in this module. So I resigned from Rain or Shine, even though I love those guys to this day, like zero bad anything. But I resigned to start the NBTC and try to help get it off the ground. And talagang, eto yung funny dyan, retired na ako na player, and I'm not making a ton of money as an assistant coach. And now I just gave up that money to start the NBTC. So sabi ko kay Coach E, Coach, wala namang problema sa akin. Wala akong asawa, wala naman akong mga anak. Kaya lang, wala rin akong pera. Baka pwede ako mag-stay sa inyo. So I moved in with Coach E for a while. I lived in his house. I couldn't pay rent. I didn't have a place to go. So I'm like, let's do this. Let's go for it. But baka may extra bedroom kayo dyan. So I moved in. And then we did the NBTC. And then, of all places, I was done with the clinic in Jensan, where Coach Bo is from. And I'm in the airport exhausted. So, kasi ang ginagawa namin noon, I was still close enough to being a player where I could do demos. So I'm like 34, 35 and still active. And so I'm out there and putting guys through 2-day clinics and get out on the court with me, coaches, let's go. Kawawa naman yung mga coach. Hanggang ngayon, nagsasorry ako sa kanila sa mga pinapagawa ko sa kanila. Anyways, so I'm exhausted after like 2 days of clinics, and I'm sitting in the Jensan airport. My phone rings, and I don't know about you guys, but when I get my phone rings and it's a number I don't know, I don't answer it. I just lalo na sa panahon na yan, like I don't know. I'm not. And so I go to, for some reason I answer it, and I just go, hello? Oh, Alex, is this you? Like, yes, who's this, please? This is Coach Bo Barisol. And Coach Bo basically asked me if he can meet to offer me a job to be one of his assistants. And you guys know, you don't get assistant coaching offers from guys you don't know. Right? Either, kasi isa ka sa mga bata nila di ba? Ganun yun. And that's natural. You have to have relationship and trust. And Coach Bo offered me a job, and he raised me up, and he gave me freedom to do things and to be creative, and he gave me responsibility, and he trusted me, and he became one of my closer friends quickly. And it was such a blessing to be a part of that team, to get invited into, again, something that I didn't know. And sobrang sakto, guys, talaga yung timing, kasi I used to live like a Bible study. So I actually asked a guy in my Bible study, like, hey man, can you pray for me? Like, I don't have any money, and I'm tired of not having any money. Like, I think I really need to get a job. The NBTC is great, but I gotta start earning some money. and then
Right,
Coach
right.
that weekend. And it was just, it was literally an answered prayer. And we have an incredible relationship to now. He's godfather to one of my kids. I just love him and his wife. And so that whole Powerade experience was amazing for me.
Yeah, and then there were some good teams also, but then you moved on after a couple of seasons. You go to Alaska. Let's go to the next photo, Carla, please. Yan, Alaska, basketball, di ba? Yan, naka-t-shirt siya. Go to the next photo, Carla.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yan. Ayan na siya. Kasi from assistant coach, medyo relax pa, nakasmile pa ng konti doon sa isa. Naging head coach na ngayon. Ito na ngayon yung nangyari.
Ay, kasi sa picture na yan, meron kasi akong headset. Narinig ko yung mga sinasabi ni Charlie ko na mali! I was listening to the broadcast and it was terrible announcing, Charlie.
Sorry. Look at you, I got you upset. My fault. Pero nag-iba talaga. So, tell us about the transition. You're an assistant coach and obviously you have maybe this much responsibility. Then you become a head coach and you have all the responsibility on your shoulder.
So I was talking to some friends I coached, Gabe Norwood and Saul Mercado, about this. And I was as an assistant coach, you're really like your uncle. So you're older, you have wisdom to share, and you have insight, but you have no real authority to like punish, right? You're not daddy. And when you head coach, you're daddy, and you're in charge of everything. So you don't get to be fun uncle, cool uncle anymore. You're daddy, right? And when you're the fun uncle, you get to say, "Oh, come on, bud, you got to listen to daddy," right? When you're daddy, you got to drop the hammer sometimes. And I wasn't like somebody who wanted. I'm not. You guys know me. I love joking around. I love having fun. And actually, part of the hardest part was trying to figure out. I've never been a head coach. Can I be myself in the like joke around, have fun way, or is that distracting? Is that you're trying to figure out what, like, how far? Where are the boundaries of this? And how do I enforce this? I'm not like, I need us to work hard and I need to challenge us, but I love people. So I want to see them succeed and I want to see their life get better. And when you've never done it before, there's so much you're trying to sort out there. Like, I don't want to be fake. I don't want to be hyper negative. I don't want to be fakely positive. I want to be me, but I have this different role. And, all of a sudden, yeah, you're just carrying, you've never done it, so you don't know exactly how to do it. And there was some time. So I decided to try to do my best to be me and to challenge guys and to teach them. And like anything else, I'm sure that I dropped the ball so many times in that process, as the way anybody would in the first time job. But I also felt so blessed to be with that team, that franchise, the players we had, the coaching staff I had, and make some pretty gosh darn good runs. Not great because we didn't win any. And that's my biggest regret of that whole time in Alaska is, man, I love those guys. And I know some of them probably don't love me. That's the nature of being a head coach. But I sincerely love those guys and literally prayed for them. And I didn't do it. I didn't get it done for them. And it was fun. It was a fun and challenging and hard time of my life and an honor. And that's my only regret is I didn't get them one. And it was not about me getting them one, but I wish I had been a part of seeing them raise a trophy.
Yeah. What happened? Why did you win? Why did you win a championship?
Because of you, Charlie. You're not announcing. You see how mad I am in that picture? You're not
Were you going to ask about you, Jay? Were you going to ask about that also?
And how great and difficult was it to coach someone like Calvin Abueva?
Oh, super challenging. I think Calvin is both, I don't know anymore, both misunderstood, but also didn't always do the best at managing his emotions, but without a doubt of anyone I've ever been around, he had the highest motor. Like it was like he would get rebounds that were baffling. I mean, he has no business. He has no business getting the basketball, but he's getting the basketball. And he would play at a pace and have a second and third jump that were so quick, and he would jump through you. And sorry, well, can you get him, babe? Sorry, my wife's got to go pick up the kids from basketball camp. But Calvin was amazing. And this is the thing, and we go back to team, right? At a certain point, are you making the team better? And for a long time he did. And then just like it was time for Fred to say, hey, Alex, I need to make a change. It's time for someone else on the team. There was a time for the organization to say, yeah, Calvin's been amazing, but it's time to make a change. And that happens. And none of us are perfect. So, but what he could do, that if you look at his rookie stats, or sorry, not his rookie stats, the first year I coached as a rookie coach, his stats. If he had played as much as Junmar played, and this isn't fair because it doesn't work out this way, but I played everybody like half the game ish, so because we pressed all the time. If he played as much as Junmar, Calvin, I did the math at one point, and it's like at 6'2", we would average like 26 points and 20 rebounds. Wow. He just is incredible. Yeah. And I literally love him and his family. I've been to their house and wish nothing but the best for him. Gosh, like the hardest thing to do for me, honestly, I really struggled with this, is to love people and then have to trade them. It's just, I had to be a part of, and I don't know if these guys would even like hearing this, but a part of trading some of my favorite guys, like guys that I literally just loved and was so happy to have on the team. Yes. That's just part of the nature of the sport, man. It's tough.
Coach, what about your great rival from the NBA? You're suddenly coaching him, Don Ontiveros. What was he like as a player?
So probably the best thing for me and the hardest thing for me was when I took over as head coach. Don was a rookie when I was a rookie. Eric Mank was one of my closest friends, and he was on our team. So he's my age, and Don's my class, right? I played against Sonny Toss. Tony Dela Cruz is somewhere close to my age. Like I think I had played against Cyrus, and Cyrus was obviously electric. So I have veterans. And I'm a rookie coach. And a lot of these veterans, I don't know if they will, but they absolutely have the brain to be able to coach, right? Not everybody wants to, but they had the ability mentally if they wanted to. And so now I have to go into film, and Don, and I saw him, and I told him this. I saw him in Cebu in March, and I told him, I was like, yeah, man, not only did you make me fat, you made me a better coach. Because I knew Don is going to ask me, well, when we run thumbs down, once we set the cross screen and there's a pin down, if we run some pinch action and they're doing this, what's next? And I'm like, Don, you just lost half the team, but I need to be prepared to answer that, because he's asking an advanced question. So I need to, as the head coach, earn my street credit by studying the film and think, what might Don ask here? What would Eric Mank ask here? What might be Tony's question? Because if I can answer those guys, then I can give them confidence. Then their confidence will spill over to the team. But to prepare for that level of question, as a rookie coach, that involves a lot of late nights. And so I had a lot of them, and I blossomed in my midsection. Some would say I didn't develop a lot. It was much more of a father figure, but it was very robust.
Right.
Can we see the next photo? I think it's with you, Jordan.
Yeah. No, sa Gilas, Pilipinas is the next
Aguilas,
one.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, and speaking of Don Ontiveros, we were together in China, remember, Coach? And
man.
we got the silver medal. And Don was the team captain of that team, and he had that great game against Japan. Remember when he brought us back?
You know, one thing I'll say about Don, well, first of all, putting on Pilipinas on my chest, even as, you know, I know I'm a white guy, but I consider the Philippines one of my two countries personally. And I know I'm not a citizen, so I don't really have a right to say that, but that's how I feel. And so that whole thing, anytime I got to wear that, I mean, napakalaking karangalan, wala akong masabi. Unbelievable. And then going back to Don, just, it seemed like he would have these games in big moments where he would just, the basket would get bigger. There's just something would click, and it's almost like, no, that's it, we're winning. And there would just be this determined, like, no. And the first finals I ever made, Don hit like 5 threes in the fourth quarter against Rain or Shine in Game 6 of the semis.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them were legitimately what we would call bad shots. Like, don't take that shot. Oh my God, that was awesome. You know, like what those kind of, "Ay mo tinira. Sige pa. Tirahin mo ulit. Go." You know, like, so but he would just, the switch would go on. And he would have these huge games. And that game against Japan was one of them, where he's like, "No, we're doing this."
And what a team that was. Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
Remember, we had Sonny Tos, Matt Canuelas Rosa, JC Intal, and people were dissing that team. Actually, remember when we flew, we were talking about that when we got there. But then they got the silver, so awesome. Yeah. And we beat Iran.
That was one of the most fun games, watching Haddadi get frustrated.
Yes, sir.
That was so much fun watching Haddadi just melt down. That was, because Iran was good. But I don't know if you guys remember their wing player, but they had that point guard who I absolutely loved.
Kamrani was a point guard.
Madi Kamrani.
And then Barami was the other one, the wing.
Barami was the scoring wing, and Kamrani was the point guard.
Right.
And those guys, they had the incredible point guard, they had the great wing scorer, and they had the NBA big man. Like, they had the team.
Yeah.
If somebody was going to beat China, it was them. Until they got beat. And that was a sweet W, man.
That was the birthday of Dr. J. It was Andy Al's birthday, if I remember correctly. So happy birthday, right? For that.
So
Galing nun. Can I just rewind a little bit? When you played in the PBA as an import, your first game on the court, did somebody welcome you? Did somebody hit you and say, "Welcome to the PBA finally, Mr. Compton"?
for my first game,
Yeah.
we played.
Or do you remember anyone hitting you hard?
I got hit a lot, but I wasn't a big guy, so for them it might not have been that hard, but it hit me hard. So we played Coca-Cola. I know I think I might have run into Ali once. Pete, he's small.
He can just stand there and hurt you.
No, I do remember that it wasn't the first game, but I remember trying to box out Harvey Carey, and Harvey flattening me so bad. And Harvey's a great guy, so he wasn't like trying to hurt me, but he did hurt me.
But he did.
Not like whiplash, man. He came running in so hard from the back. It's like he hit me so hard, my neck snapped back, and I went flying. I was like, "Oh, hard, why?" I'm an old man now. Take it easy. No, so remind me. I don't remember Coke. Did you talk to somebody? Somebody hit me?
No. I'm just wondering because there are a lot of guards, rough guards. Like, did anyone get you or something like that?
Denok was on that team, but Denok wasn't dirty. He just was strong. He just was physically strong, but he wasn't dirty. Yeah, nobody. No
one in particular. Okay. But,
no.
But Pink and Carrie are okay.
Yeah. I got hit plenty of times. Don't get me wrong. I got punched, I think, in every single part of my body. Oi, mabata!
Who's that chunky guy in the gray?
Yeah, this was after a
earlier.
lot.
They said, "Wow, I don't
Yeah.
remember you like this." Kid.
Yeah, man. I was a little overweight at that time. Behind us, Ruben Parado of Spin.
Yeah.
Who was a lot thinner back then. Yeah. Ruben weighs more than me now. So
Grabe.
Are we gonna
see it?
Schwabe mustache make a comeback? I mean, that's what
Coach, it's funny you mentioned that because I remember I asked you a question. I asked you, Coach, can I interview you after the game? And he said, sure. Said, can I also ask you about the ferocity of your goatee? That's what you told me. I'll never forget what you said. Because
so yun na, magkakaibigan nga tayo na matagal na kasi tinan mo yung next photo naman. Next photo. And when you also dabbled nga in TV hosting, this is the game. Remember this game, Coach?
This is the game. Me and Coach Yang were going nuts because Justin hit that three to win it.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I forgot that Sel Guevara was our courtside, but there's the photo. So the three of us, he makes the shot, and you and Coach Yang are just, whoa! And you're just screaming, and oh my gosh, what a shot, And then that's it. And that's 10 years ago, and Brownlee's still doing it until now, Coach.
That was one of the coolest moments. I mean, I would rather have been on the court and coaching Justin at that time, but that was one of the coolest moments I've seen in the PBA. Like the camera's out, everybody's screaming. It's Ginebra. It's the last possession. Durham Moralco is an incredible import, just an absolute warrior. And Justin makes that shot. That was amazing.
There we are, Coach.
Wow, man.
That's where we were screaming from.
Yeah, napawaw tayo lahat eh. Wow!
Yeah.
Wow!
And then so we were all caught up in that, and we didn't emphasize that there was time left on the clock for Meralco to come up with a play.
Exactly.
But they just let the game end. When Brownlee's shot went in, there was probably 0.7, 0.6 remaining on the clock. But wala na eh. The confetti was already in the air, and that was it.
It was.
But so you did become a commentator. You did commentate a couple of UAAB games as well, right? Sometime.
So I actually started. I got to cover. It was either 2000 or 2001. I got to cover maybe 2002, a PBA opener. And, it was crazy. I think it was when Kenneth first went to. Didn't Kenneth go to Santa Lucia? Kenneth Duremdes?
Yes,
he did.
It was like when he first went to Santa Lucia and they were playing Alaska in the opener. So it was a big game, and they had me covered. And I was like, sure, this is fun. I get to do this. And then off and on throughout the years, UAP. I got to cover with Noel Zarate, who I consider a good enough friend that if he invited me somewhere, I would show up. Because we were so close. It wasn't a one-sided relationship. We both really cared about each other, and we're present.
So there's something more important today. So that's life.
Yeah. Unless there was the beard combing or something like that. But Noel and I got to cover the Spanish league together, Liga Endesa, for BTV, and that was really fun because that's great basketball. Those guys can really play.
Oh yes, I'm sure you enjoy watching that.
Oh man,
moving that ball around, finding the open guy.
Beautiful basketball. I absolutely love it. So yeah, it's always fun. I get to talk with cool guys like you while watching basketball. I mean, I do that at home with a friend, and you just happen to have a headset on. This is great.
Ginebra just won the championship last conference, and some people were commenting on the posts. Because it was me, Coach Yang, and Kinito, and people were saying, "Where's Alex Compton?" Remember, it was Yang, and then ako, and then ikaw yung pangatlo dapat.
Hey, next time if you guys want to fly me out to cover a game, let me know.
Fly you in? They're not gonna do it. Once flying someone in, we don't even do the out of town games anymore. They don't send us there anymore. So.
Are you in studio?
Like, times are hard. Next photo is, of course, bida na naman. Si Sid pumayat na.
Yep. Pumayat na nga ako dito. From 2016 to now, I lost a lot of weight.
This was just recently, NBTC no?
This was last year during the press con for NBTC, I think.
Yeah, you look good if you're at the NBTC, Sid. The NBTC has this wonderful effect on the health of Filipinos worldwide, and you need to keep going and supporting it.
Are we going to see you? I mean, every time there's an NBTC, you'll be coming back to Manila.
That's my plan. It's one of those things. I always joke around like it's our baby, me and Coach E. But Coach E raised that kid. I've been absentee, man, since since I took over as head coach of Alaska, I told Coach, I love you. I love the NBTC, but I can't put the time in as the head coach of Alaska and do this. And then I moved out here. So him and Marissa and then the whole team, everybody else who's come alongside, have done an incredible job of growing it. Like a lot of things, I left and it got better. So, but I'm still around to go back and visit for the big events.
Oh, hindi tayo nagkita last time pero but you were able to join us naman for the PBA's 50 greatest last year. You and Rafe came on board and talked to us about that. There's a question na siguro we need to ask it. I was actually starting it na kanina. Just those championships nga that you played in, that your teams played in the PBA, and then you're falling short. How do you bounce back? What did you go through, especially after the miracle and all of that? We need to talk about.
We're friends. I've talked about this openly. You guys don't need to pull punches. It's all good. So the biggest thing was perspective taking. So we're up 3-0. Of course, nobody talks about the 9-time MVP didn't play in those 3 games, right? Jumar had proved to have an impact on a game or two, right? So that's not to knock my guys. My guys did awesome. I was proud of them. And I didn't do a good enough a job of coaching. We still should have won one more game. I should have done a better job. So we can leave it right there and not say anything more. That's on me. Jumar does have an impact a little bit, but that's on me. So after that, the hardest thing was walking into a locker room after game 7 and seeing a bunch of the guys in tears. Like PBA guys, when they lose a championship, they're not usually in tears. And this was tough. And again, the hard part of being a coach who actually loves people, whether they know it or believe it or not, for some of them, was feeling like that's all my fault. We're almost there. We're almost in promised land, and that's all my fault. And that's a part of leadership that you have to embrace, right? That's leadership. And so thinking about that, and then thinking we have to start practice in 4 days for the next conference. So we full court press. I can't ask more than what these guys are giving physically, emotionally, committing to team. They're doing everything I'm asking. They're awesome. I like really so proud of them. And I had to think about how I can help them get into the next thing. And the biggest thing was, sa lahat ng mga dinaanan natin, sa lahat ng mga dinaanan nyo, kung saan kayo galing, of all the stuff that people in this country have to deal with, typhoons, hardship, walang pera, walang hanap buhay, we're blessed. And I know it hurts and it sucks and we're not going to run from it. But we're not going to suck our thumb and say, woe is me. We're one possession away from the finals, and now we get a chance to do something about it again. I'm not saying anything that I said made them do anything, that I'm responsible for it, but that's how I wanted to try to frame it, to hopefully help them grasp we're stepping into the next battle and getting back up again. And it really, with coaching, you never know. It might have actually had a little bit of the opposite effect, but they still pressed through me. I don't know. But that's how I tried to frame it. And I've never been more proud of a team that off of 4 days rest, we made the finals again the very next conference. So full court pressing on every possession. With guys who are putting it out there. And they did not suck their thumb and go in the corner and say, well, is mi kuwawan naman ako dito. Muntik na ako naging champion. Hindi na, I need 4 months to feel bad for myself. They got up and they battled. I mean, and we lost. And that's on me again. And we lost. Probably there's probably all kinds of stuff about an inexperienced coach in there that would have, a more experienced coach would help them win it. But I tell you, man, those guys got back up after that 3-0 and they went right back to the finals again. And I still didn't get them one, but they showed their resilience. They showed their toughness. I'll tell you that.
Coach, yung pag-handle mo naman kay Fred with Tangsu, how do you explain to him?
Honest and straightforward. I mean, there's nothing to hide. I had a great relationship with Fred. I still have a good relationship with Fred. And It's just, hey, there's times where people have to let you go. I didn't like take it personal that he asked me to resign. It's his team. He's got a high standard. I had kind of run my race. I had done what I could do, and I surely, looking back now, could have done some things better. But at the time where I was at in my capacity, I did everything I could, and I think he knows that and appreciated that. There is one Tim Cohn. I'm not him. Even as incredible as Tim Cohn is, even the beginning of his career was in a different context, right? Yeah. So there was one owner per team. There were 8 teams, and he was doing things, and he was incredible back then. But context changed, situations change, and I gave it a shot, and I love Fred. I love the team, but I was always honest with Fred. I had to write reports after games and give guys grades and work on some stuff. And he was always honest and direct with me. And, as a leader, he held me accountable, but he didn't hold me accountable in what I would call a bad leadership way, like give me the silent treatment or be distant or just scream at me. He would just direct, and he would try to coach me, and that was really good leadership. So I appreciated that. Yeah. When it was time. I was so burnt out at the end, guys. I had no gas in the tank. I don't know if people know how hard it is to stay up that late, that long, and just I was tired. I was really tired.
Yeah.
I needed somebody better who could give them more, and I'd given what I had, and it wasn't enough, and it's time for somebody else.
Right. It was a good run, actually. I mean, it really depends on your perspective, how people look at it. But maganda yung run, which is great, and then it's all about learning and this and that, which is perfect segue into the next photo, Carla.
Yeah.
There you go. Let's talk about this because we've talked about it on the show. We've shown this slide. We said where it's available and all of that. What made you all of a sudden get into this and produce this?
So it's funny because there's so many UP guys that we've talked about, and for whatever reason, I didn't go to UP, but for whatever reason, a lot of my closest friends have. Coach Bo, Coach Eric, and the guy who wrote this, and he didn't write this book, but Wisest Learners, you see on the top, Wallace Panlilio, Dr. Wallace Panlilio, just incredibly close inner circle friend of mine. He wrote a book for kids with a cognitive neuroscientist for Europe. Pasensya na kayo, pero nerd talaga ako. So Wallace is an EdSite PhD, and he wrote a book with a European cognitive neuroscientist about the best learning models for kids and how parents can help their kids learn better. And it sounds like ay pang nerd lang talaga yan, but they're so smart and they're such good communicators that they wrote it in a way where just us normal parents can understand. So it wasn't meant to be an academic book, and it's just great. And so it's called Wisest Learners for Parents. And then he wrote one for teachers that's very technical. And then he was writing one for kids, and he asked me and Kevin, if you see on the bottom there, it says Kevin Delafu. He asked Kevin and I if we wanted to write one. He's like, hey, what about one for parents of athletes? I thought, yeah, actually, what an incredible time to mold young people. And a lot of us, and I say us, parents, don't always have a great grid or experience or understanding. We just kind of go through life trying our best, and parenting's hard, and maybe there's some best practices and some research that we can share. And if we're able to help with some stories and some best practices, parents, then instead of having parent relationships be fractured around a sport that should be like wonderful memories and character building, maybe we can help them develop some deeper relationships with their kids, and for the length of their lives, really just have a much richer experience. And so that was a motivation behind it. And what's crazy is that my major in college was human development and family studies. So I hadn't thought of it, but it all came back. And a lot of the studies, the research that I did, not like the original research, but looking up the psychological journals research, was like, oh, yes, I remember this study. Oh, yes, I remember this guy's work. I loved it. oh yes, this is really good, or this one I didn't like as much, and it hasn't been replicated. And it was kind of like going back to college and looking through all this stuff. And yeah, it's just been an honor because mahirap talaga maging tatay, maging magulang eh. Dami natin ginagawa. Ilang oras lang sa isang araw, tapos kailangan matulog din tayo, tapos yung anak mo, di ba, when they were 10, they're different than when they're 12. Then, puberty, 14,
Yep,
16, iba na naman. So, it's like, as parents, we're always in a new season, right? As parents, we are always in a new season. And so what do I do? And so we wrote a book about things that we thought we could help parents with. It's really it's a parenting book set within the youth sports context. And that's how we wrote it.
It's a great book.
Oo nga eh.
Also become
Diba?
a best
Tsaka
learner.
madaling ipasa. Pinasa ko rin yan sa physical ed department of where my son studied high school. So I don't know if they got some copies, but and hopefully it helps a lot of people. Tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang pagturo. So your coaching continues. I have a couple of questions, guys, if you let me know. Shortly lang, paano ka natuto mag-Tagalog?
Nag-aaral ako 2 linggo, tapos ayun, fluent na ako kasi ano ako eh.
Savant. You're a savant. You
No.
just picked it up quickly.
No, I didn't actually. The funny thing is, I picked up Thai quickly when I was a kid. Kasi lahat ng mga kasama ko, hindi naman marunong mag-English. Magulang ko lang, sa kuya ko lang, nag-English. And then sa bahay, ginagamit ng magulang ko ang Thai sa amin. Yeah, my chop, puti di noisy. And I'm like, wait, what? And so it's all day, it's real immersion. And then I get to the Philippines, and then all of a sudden, it's people are speaking more grammatically correct than I am half the time. And so it was really hard, and I thought I would pick it up really quick. But ang problema yung mga Pilipino kasi ang galing yung mag-English, talagang nahihirapan ako dyan. So somebody like walk up to me and say like, "You're something really intelligent with big words in English," and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, okay." And I don't learn Tagalog that way, right? So I actually gave up my first year. I quit doing it because so many Filipinos would speak great English to me, and I was like, I am not learning. And then I went to I got a tutor. I came home to Wisconsin, and I got a tutor before I went home, and I really was going to quit, and then I realized, ano kaya talagang iniisip ko? Am I going to be fluent like in a few months? This is hard. What am I? I'm going to report poetry or something? It's a new language, and everybody speaks to me in English. So I asked all my teammates to speak to me in Tagalog, and I asked my driver, who was one of my closest friends, to speak to me in Tagalog. Another UPIS guy. And then I asked, yeah, you know Jason. Yeah. He's like,
Barkada ni Coach Ryan, high school.
Yeah. Oh, he's my buddy. I couldn't ask for a better guy to be with me for the first 10, 12 years when I was in the Philippines. He helped me through. So I would talk to Jason in the car all the time. And I would say, hey, we called each other bye. He said, bye. And then he was like, hey, ganito yan, bye. Like this? Nah, close. And so like he was like an unofficial tutor in the car. And my teammates would help me. And after Peter Martin burned me by teaching me the wrong way to say girl, I checked with other people like Jason, and then I learned how to say things the right way. But it takes time, man. It takes time, and it's hard when people see a white face and then just walk up to you and say, "Hey," or how are you doing, sir? What can I get you to drink? That was perfect English, so I'm not forced to. So that was the challenge. But after a few years, I got a great tutor named Agnes Ifuro. And my tutor Dawn from UP at first. I quit. It wasn't her fault. She was great, but I was so frustrated. And then I got Agnes starting in 1999, and I did 2 to 3 lessons for an hour and a half for about 2 years. And then I asked my teammates to talk to me. And then probably by 2002, you could lock me in a room with all Filipinos, and even if they didn't speak English, I'd be fine. So.
Right. So that endeared you to a lot of the Pinoys,
Yes,
for sure.
kayo ni Rafe, actually.
You are an example for a lot of these Filipino Americans or Phil foreigners who come here who who are here for a long time and never learned the language at all. Ikaw, di ba? Kaya ka mahal na mahal ng mga tao dahil sa Pilipinas.
Ang gusto mo malaman, anong first Tagalog kalokohan word or sentence na nakuha mo, natutunan mo?
Yeah, you can say anything on this show.
May mga anak din ako sali lang. Pero mga
At sino nagturo sa'yo?
yun talaga si Victor Pedro Martin, walang iba.
Victor Pedro Martin, siyempre.
Ano man yan, yung si Martin, no? Klaseng halimbawa. So, itong nangyari, unang ensayo namin sa Ultra. Sa track kami, 6 a.m. Hindi naman ako marunong manangalog. January to, 1998. Kakarating lang ako sa Pilipinas. So, ayun. Paakyat ako sa Ultra. Alam niyo yung Ultra, di ba? Papuntang track ako. So, may sinabi si Peter. Tapos, sabi niya, hey man, you know how to speak Tagalog, right? I'm like, no man, I just got here. Not really. He goes, oh, okay. Well, you know what you to say when you see a pretty girl, right? And I was like, I think you guys say like beautiful morning, right? It's like maganda, umaga, or something like that. He's like, yeah, maganda. That's how you say beautiful. You know what to say, how you say girl, right? And I was like, no, man, how do you say it? And he's like, oh, well, that's, and then he says PUTA. And itong si Pedro, artista yan eh. Artista yan. Straight face. Sobrang straight face. I was like, oh, okay, great. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. How do I say that again? And then he said it, and he's like straight faced. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. And then, so I'm living with Boss Louie, the owner of the team, whose wife is so cool, Tita Cynthia. She's so nice. They prepared dinner. I'm going down and having dinner in their house with one of her best friends, and I'm a 23-year-old guy. So, yung si Tita Don, ang ganda naman ni Tita Don eh, 45, pero maganda eh. So, magbabanyo na si Tita Don, habang kumakain kami, so nagbanyo na siya. So, ito, papakita ko kay Tita Cynthia. Galing ko manangalog. Oh, Tita Cynthia, Tita Don is a magandang... Ay, kumanan si Tita Cynthia. Akala ko natuwa siya sa akin, so inulit ko na naman. Isa magandang... Tatlong anak niyang lalaki sa table, like 8, 6, and 4. So these kids are like laughing at me. Boss Louie's like literal face palm. It's like this, buddy. No, buddy, stop. No. And the owner's gonna put me on a team, man. I just insulted the wife's best friend. I thought I was trying to call her a beautiful woman, and yeah, I checked after that. You got me pretty good.
Pero magkaibigan pa rin kayo ni Victor Pedro Martin hanggang ngayon.
Yeah, well, yeah, he had to go through some changes. He did. In fact, when he was commenting earlier, he's actually at the Bible study right now. That's why. So he didn't come on to say hello. So mabait na si Pedro ngayon. So this is one of the great things. This is honestly one of the great things about being teammates with somebody for a long time is or having these long-term relationships is you get to see the best and the worst of each other. Right? So that's a funny story. But we've both seen some bad in us. Right? And then we've both kind of grown and we've had God change our lives and had other good things happen. And it's there's nothing like shared experience, right? Like I always tell people, I could meet the coolest person in the world who we would have been best friends forever tomorrow. I have no history with them. Mm-hmm. I got history with Pedro. He taught me how to insult a woman.
Yeah. That makes you close. Alam ko magto-2.5 na tayo, guys, pero kailangan ko lang kasi banggitin ito at alam nyo to. Yeah. Coach, just very shortly, maybe in a sentence or two. Why did 3 of our previous guests say that you are the best player that they've ever coached? How would you say? I mean, you're gonna say no, maybe I'm not, but no, without being coy or whatever. Why would they say that? Why do you think they said that? Coach Nash, Coach Louie, Coach Boise. Why did they say that about you? Look at yourself and tell us why. Because you've been a coach yourself.
So I'll try to answer this without false humility, to be honest. When they said that, I got choked up. When you sent me that, Charlie, like, hey, did you see what this guy said? I'm like, no, sorry, I didn't get a chance to watch the show. And you told me that, and then you sent it again.
3 times.
I mean, I literally got choked up. It's like that was like, in my opinion, like the greatest thing to hear for guys who led teams that I played on. That surpassed anything I would have expected.
Mm-hmm.
So and there is absolutely a big part of me that thinks it's simply not true, but that's my opinion. So for them to say that was like powerful for me. It was I was so grateful. Like I literally got choked up each time. Why they might say it is I guess because I cared about the mission. I think I cared about us more than me. And so I think I always I didn't try to be combative with coaches. I wanted to support, like I acknowledged that they would lead the way and then let's go do it. So I think there might be on that side the emotional connection. I think even Coach Nash, when you sent it to me, said something about he liked players who were easy to handle, guys who didn't make his life hard. So, I think that maybe there's a portion of that in there. Like I remember Coach Nash called a play at the NBA playoffs against the Longapo, who had Jeff Flowers and Topex and some other guys. And, I felt like I had that thing that Don had. Like when it's time to win the game, like, move the ball, us. We need a big shot. Give me the ball. Like that was, I'm not saying that's factual truth. That's how I felt in those moments. Like, get me the ball. Like, I'm going to make this thing. That was my like determined chip on my shoulder time. And Coach Nash with Batangas called a play and he said, Alex, we're going to run you off a triple screen. You're going to be a decoy. It took every ounce of strength I had, man, to bite my tongue and lips. And I was grabbing my legs as hard as possible to be like, be honorable. I'm like, I'm birthing. I'm like, this is just give me the ball. I'll make the shot. Like this is honor your coach, and I was so like, I literally like my fingers were under in the back of my thighs. Like I'm trying to be the best teammate, but I'm like internally angry inside and trying not to show it. And exactly what Coach Nash drew up happened. Everybody chased me out. Tony Boy blew past the defense, got a layup, and Jeff Flowers couldn't recover to block the shot, and we won the game. It was brilliant coaching. Mm-hmm. And if honestly, probably at that point, if God hadn't changed my life, that was 3 years prior, I would have been like, are you crazy? I will, this is my time. Yeah. And so I think there's probably some of that, because I don't think, man, anyways, I was so touched by that, but I think they all coach better players. But I'll cherish those words. That was special for me.
And they all answered so quickly when we asked.
Yeah.
Yeah. As in right away.
They didn't have to think about it.
A matter of fact for them, and then there was no doubt. All three. Kaya nga I had to tell you talaga because ang galing eh. Ang galing, spontaneous. So
the others were Coach Louis Alas.
So magaling ka talaga siguro, Coach.
Yeah.
Nakita naman natin nagaling. Guys, we need to jump into the segments na, no? I guess, right? It's 2:20. Okay. So, we're going to go to the Twilight Zone. So, we're going to enter the final stages of our episode 298. And the first part is brought to us by Tuminugan Farm. Up in the cool highlands of Bukidnon lies a hidden gem, Tuminugan Farm, home of Hinalaban Adlay and Hinalaban Coffee and other farm-to-table goodness. It's the perfect start to your Mindanao adventure today. And you can enjoy you can sip coffee, unwind in one of their cozy farm cottages. Discover the heart of sustainable living at Tuminugan Farm, your private paradise at the heart of Bukidnon. It's called XSROs. Okay, XSROs is back today. We'll go quickly. I have a list of choices for you, Coach. You have to tell me which one you choose without having to explain, but hopefully you can make a choice for each one. Okay. We'll allow you maybe a tie here and there, but not too many. Okay, number 1, Sonny Toss or Eric Mink?
Oh, love them both. Eric Mank.
Okay.
He's got an MVP, man. Yeah.
Okay. Vic Manuel or Calvin Abueva?
Oh, God.
We thought long and hard about these choices.
Sustained body of work. I'm going Calvin. But I don't know if you saw that conference that Vic was like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like
How many games?
He was it was unstoppable. Imports couldn't stop him.
The 9 or 10 straight games, 20 plus points. Yeah,
It's just amazing. In like 20 minutes, like he would just come in and torch guys, then go sit down.
Yeah, use those big hands. Okay, next one. How about this? Cadel Mosqueda or Don Camaso?
Oh, I love Cadell, but Don Camaso, easy. 6'6", could shoot, went to his left, could block shots. He got us into the NBA Finals in '99. Huge
Okay.
game. Yeah.
Ito, Nonoy Chuatico or Gilbert Demape?
Nonoy Chuatico, he's my coach. Ibet was my so okay. I love Nonoy Chuatico, but I really played with Ibet. So in terms of on the court, I'm going with Ibet. In terms of coaching, I never coached with Ibet. I'm going with Nonoy. But Ibet was special. I don't know if you guys spent time with him. Ibet was one of the most fun.
Someone's asked in the comments kanina to talk about that, but we didn't get to that topic.
Oh, I love Ibet, man.
Yeah, you guys worked well together.
Yeah.
How about this, Ruben or Romy De La Rosa?
Bias ako. Teammate ko si Ruben. And Ruben also had the Calvin ferocity with the biggest smile. He was like a bundle of joy. I'm going to knock you down, and pull the ball from you, and smile at you. You know?
Pareho naman sila. Si Romy actually had that smile as well. Si Romy, the two De La Rosa brothers. Palangiti yan. Tony Boy Espinosa or Chucho Serrano?
Yeah, these are good questions, man. I'm going to go, I'm going to go with Tony Boy.
Tony Boy. Okay. Manila or Batangas?
Manila, my first home. Yeah.
Eddie Laure or Peter Martin?
Oh, you're a jerk. Oh, I love them both. We were champions together.
Both.
But okay, so can you give me the basis for the question? What am I choosing here?
Sure. However you appreciate the choice, yeah.
First reaction.
Who's better looking?
So who's got a shinier head? Is that it? No, I Pedro's one of my best friends. We just spent so much time together. I just I love that guy. So
Okay, so Pedro yan. Coach Louis Alas or Coach Nash Racela?
Coach Louis, first championship, and then he mentored me as a coach. So I don't know if you guys know this, but the first thing I said when I became head coach of Alaska, I called Coach Louis and I said, "You're no longer an assistant coach, you're associate head coach, and your job is to coach me. You can't hurt my feelings. I've never been a head coach. Help me. Cut me off before it's so wrong to hurt us." And so he wasn't just a coach as a player, he coached me as a coach.
Okay, so it's Coach Louis.
Yeah.
Okay, Cyrus Baguio or Don Ontivero?
For history's sake, Don and I shared a moment where when we were winning the championship, he asked us to change jerseys that I thought on the court was one of the coolest things I was ever a part of because I respect him so much.
Nauna na kayo sa jersey swap. Okay.
Yeah.
Ping Eximiniano or Don Dulay?
Gosh, are you gonna bring it? Are you gonna make anything easy like Sid Ventura or
Noel Zarate
or something? No. So I'm gonna go with Ping. Ping's a bundle of energy, man. He's just such a great guy. Ninong na ako sa kanila.
Diba? Nice. Ito, mga big man. Adonis Santa Maria or Samige Eman?
Adonis. I love Adonis. Yeah.
Rob Wainwright or Joe Devance?
Ooh. Oh, that's tough. Joe's going to get mad at me, but I'm going to say Rob because of more shared history. We spent more time together.
Okay. Nino Gelig or Nestor Echano?
Oh, Nestor Achano changed my life.
Echano.
Yeah, like he had a rat. Nestor Achano went from our second leading scorer in 1998 to never playing in 1999 and not complaining one bit the whole time. Showed up to work every day. Never negative,
Nice.
always positive. Great teammate. Went from starter to end of the bench and was an incredible example of being a good teammate. Love that guy.
Really? Nice, nice. How about the two lefties, Estong or Eddie Laure? Estong Ballesteros or Eddie Laure?
Ayun, champion kami ni Eddie. MVP ko si Eddie. He was
Okay. Oh, ito, Ralph Rivera or Ryan Aranya?
Okay, so I only coached Ryan, but Ralph Rivera is one of the best workout partners I ever had. Him and Denver Lopez are the two best workout partners I ever had. We lifted weights together. Ralph's my guy.
Okay,
Yeah.
Ralph's your guy. Okay. Well-coat or Powerade?
Oh, jeez. I'm starting to not like you because of these questions, Charlie.
You did like me already with my commentating. You sent a picture earlier. Okay. You gotta blame Jay also for these. Okay.
So, oh my gosh. Okay, so we'll go because of there is no more Powerade, and I still love Boss Raymond and Coach Leo, and that was my start. And Kaloy is still a close friend, so I'll go with.
So well-coat. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Coach Leo of 3 or Coach Bo Perasol?
The one thing that Coach Bo never did, beat me 3 times in the finals. So Coach Bo Parasol.
How about this? How about this? Lakers, Celtics, or Bucks?
So, okay. I love the Bucks. I cheer for them. Historically, if it was Lakers or Celtics, I'd go for Celtics.
Okay.
And
Sid is happy. Sid is a Celtic fan.
Yeah, and I got to cover the Lakers Celtics in 2010 for Solar Sports in LA, and it was like one of the best things ever to be there.
I don't remember that series too much.
Yeah, I remember it clearly. Anyway,
Kind of fuzzy. I don't remember that much.
Laker fan here. Okay, Gabe Freeman or Derek Brown? You remember these guys, right? Gabe Freeman or Derek Brown?
Yeah, oh gosh. Oh, Gabe was really athletic and crazy, but I'd really like Derek Brown.
Yeah, fly.
Derek Brown. Yeah, he was the best import. Both of them were, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Both. Yeah.
Yeah. Chris Clay or Jeffrey Flowers?
Chris Clay was more explosive. That guy was scary. Like he legit did 360s and he was like import level athlete. He was crazy.
PBA or MBA?
You're really not a nice person. So for what got me into the country that I love and my Filipino family, it was the PBA. It brought me to the
I figured, yeah.
PBA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Noy Baclao or J.R. Reyes?
Oh man! So I'm gonna say this, and no one will know why, but Noy and his wife Erica, Noy did something for me that no player's ever done before, and so I'll say Noy.
So okay, Noy. Okay, how about this? Jordan, LeBron, Kobe.
Jordan. That was kind of easy for me. Yeah, and I'm not a Jordan fan, but easy for me, Jordan.
I hope you remember these people. Can you show the photo, Carla, please? This is the last one on the list. Gretchen Barreto, Alice Dixon, Kring Kring Gonzalez, or Don Zulueta?
So, as I recall, I would have been the word on the street, the rumor is that I would have been a much bigger fan of Don Zulueta. That's what I would have heard people would have said about me.
Okay. Don Zulueta. Don Zulueta will win. For episode 298, that's XSROs brought to us by Tuminugan Farm. I'm passing the ball to who? To Jay Mercado, right?
Yeah. Now, I'll veer away from the most useful question. Siguro, I'll ask you a different question. Coach, can you name 5 local players that you wished you played with or coached but never got to?
Reynolds de Ocampo. I was just talking about this. I just think
Assistant lang.
I think yeah. So does my time with Dell on Gilas count, or are you talking about PBA? What
That's
what
okay.
are my limitations here?
That's okay. That's okay.
As a head coach, I think like one of the things that Dell brought was a coach on the floor from a position that's usually not a coach on the floor. It's like what Bong Hawkins had. You know how Bong Hawkins was like a quarterback from the power forward spot? Dell, in any given game, would have usually been one of the two smartest players on the floor, if not the smartest.
Agree.
And people always forget that Ranadell was a post ISO problem for everyone. If you got Dell the ball in the post, he's scoring 8 times out of 10. He was so good down there. His footwork was great. He jumped well. He was strong. He was patient. And he could shoot. But Talk and Text went to the dribble drive, and rightfully so. But he just moved out and did his job and was a great teammate. I think Dell was incredible.
Okay. So RDO next.
You know, I think Alaska might have had 5 championships when I was coaching if I had Junmar.
Grand Slam.
No explanation needed. No explanation needed.
I'm thinking I could have just planted him on the bench and we might have even just won, just as long as he wasn't playing for San Miguel. But I think we would have played him a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, that's 2. 3 more.
Who
You could have played with also, huh?
Yeah. It can also be played with.
Yeah.
Oh, who would I have loved to have played with?
Yes.
Yeah.
Either
Played
coach
with
or
or-
played with.
I'm sorry, I had my coaching hat on.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let me go to PBA guys who were in my era that I didn't get to play with. So I really, honestly, I would have, and we're close friends, but I would have loved to have played with Eric Mank
Okay.
because he's a cerebral big man, very skilled, and he had that thing that Della had, where at like any given point, he's one of the smartest guys on the floor with an unquestionable work ethic. And so when you're playing with guys whose brains are on a different level, you're just life's different. I also, even though I was like a 1.5, so I could play point, I could play shooting guard. If I played shooting guard, I passed it more than most shooting guards. If I played point, I shot it more than most pure point guards. So I was somewhere in between. But we would have been small, but it would have been so much fun to play with Johnny A, man. Johnny A is, in my question, hands down the best point guard to ever play in the Philippines, without question. Like, he just, and again, you know, if you notice, a lot of these guys are really good, but their brains are there. Their brains and their competitive spirit. So it's like head and heart and skills. And Johnny, I just think is the best ever. And you know, Junmar, I always said with Junmar, like, I wish he was a jerk so I could be mad at him, but he's a great kid. He's a great guy. And so he's a great guy and he's beating you. You're like, do something wrong so I can dislike you. Then I'd feel better about losing to you, you know, like RDO. And there's a lot of guys. With Johnny, I would have loved to have played with Jimmy. Jimmy's a winner and a leader. You know, just those guys, like all the guys, if you notice that I'm mentioning, are winners and leaders.
Right.
Winners and leaders. Winners and leaders. And
MVPs also. MVPs.
Smart.
Yeah, I just respect guys who really know what they're doing and know how to play. Just really special. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Kompleto na ba?
Yeah, lima na yun.
Yeah.
That's
Jimmy is the fifth one.
Jimmy,
Yeah.
Johnny,
Yeah, Jimmy, the 2 guards.
RDO.
So, okay, ganda ng
Junmar.
front line, no? RDO, JMF, Mick, tapos Johnny,
Yeah.
Jimmy. Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
So, Sid na. Si Sid na.
Oh yeah, final.
Oh,
The
Sid.
final segment, of course. First of all, is brought to you by Founders Donuts. Again, they have 18 branches already all over the metropolis, greater NCR. Just visit any of these branches to order very, very delicious Founders Donuts, and also follow their social media handles, Founders Donuts PH, on both Facebook and Instagram. My question for you, Coach Alex, you know, if you could have dinner with any basketball personality, could be a coach, could be a player, or whatever, a foreigner, local, living or dead, who would it be, and what would you talk about?
John Stockton.
Okay.
Yeah, I figured. Okay.
Because there's that emotional connection of so I met Kobe, right? I ran a workout with Kobe in Ultra, and I spent 2 hours with him, and I talked to him in the locker room before, and I acknowledge like there's superstars who are bigger than me, but I don't ever get starstruck with people. I might get it might be the only person that I'm like, you have no idea how you impacted my life. Because I love basketball and your grittiness and your toughness. You made people play and you didn't stop and you got up, and I wasn't tough and I wanted to be tough. So you helped me want to be tougher, and then tell me what it's like to lead. Tell me, like, how did you not miss games? How is it? I know you're in the game. I know you've got stuff going on and you've got to guard the best NBA point guards, and you're playing 82 games a season for like 12 straight seasons, 14 straight. How are you doing that? You're setting screens on power forwards. Like, you're not backing down. What motivated you? Like, it was an emotional connection that they fall in love with the game.
Yeah.
What made you, man? Like, yeah. Will you be my best friend forever?
Yeah, you're gonna pick his brain, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Great answer. Great answer.
Well, man, there's a lot of John Stockton in you, in the way that you played. So, galing. Galing. Okay, ito na yung pinakahuli talaga, Coach. Ha? Ang dami ng oras na bigay mo sa amin today. Hello, Porky. This is the greetings portion, which I mentioned to you. So, it's your chance to shout out, to acknowledge, thank anybody you'd like to. Go ahead now, Coach.
Wow. So we have 3 more hours, which is awesome. No, the list is too long. And I said Stockton just now, and his autobiography is called Assisted. And I feel it's so true for my life. So it's impossible for me, out of consideration for your guys' time, to be able to appropriately thank everybody. But I would start with my parents. They showed me the world, and they showed me how to live and love people from other parts of the world as though they're just like you, that you're the same. And they showed me that everyone has dignity, and they showed me that none of us are above anyone else. And my parents are amazing. I know it's an honor to be able to say and brag about your parents and mean it, and not just be like a respectful son, but actually be like, no, my parents are amazing. So, my parents, my brother, who beat the crap out of me a lot and then sacrificed for me at the same time, did what good Kuyas do: beat you up, make you better, and then defend you. And he's been essentially really once I got old enough, my best friend. So amazing. My wife and kids, nothing like family. If you notice, it's always family first. Now I married well. I married really well. My wife's amazing. I got somebody who can challenge me intellectually, who shares my values, who's brilliant, who's gorgeous, an incredible mom, and a great teammate. And my kids are just a joy that motivate me. I don't coach professionally or in college on purpose so I can have enough time to be with them. So they are amazing kids. And then really for all my life, I've been assisted. Outside of my family, I've been assisted by coaches, by teachers, by people who have selflessly poured into me time and again. All the times that I've fallen short, people have been there to pick me up. All the times that I thought I wouldn't have opportunities in certain places, people have given me opportunities. So all my coaches, all my teachers, all my teammates, the whole thing in basketball is it's a team game. It's always about us. It's never about me. It's always about us. And I've had incredible teammates since, some of those pictures that you guys saw early on from when I was a kid to all the way up through the end of my career. And we all made each other better. And that was incredible. And I've had, you guys know I'm a Christian guy, and I've had people selflessly tell me that Jesus loves me and go out of my way, and when I'm like, I'm too busy and I'm drinking, I can't meet you because I'm drinking beer. I got something important to do. And he just patiently waited for me and just tried to find time where they could serve me and help me and let me know that there's a God who's good and loves me. And finally, above all that, then obviously is my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Like, I've done so many things wrong in my life and can just continue to drop the ball. But I've been assisted by so many people and epitomized in the life of Jesus. And I'm not saying that to be like weird or religious. Like, it's just true what's happened in my life. And it's great. You receive so much, you got to figure there's stuff that you got to give. So I'm just hopefully have more to give as we keep going forward. But if I missed anybody in those statements, please forgive me. But this life has been incredibly blessed. And you guys are part of that, even the media. Like, I got to be friends with you guys, like we're talking and you guys are just doing a job. I'm doing a job and you guys are cool. That's pretty cool. I've had some fun opportunities of just chatting. Shoot, Charlie, you and I have just sat down and had a couple of beers before and talked life, right? I mean,
right. Yeah.
It's fun. I like seeing you guys. I like talking to you guys. So, yeah, there's just been so many people who helped me out in my life that I couldn't, it'd be impossible to enumerate them all, but I've definitely been assisted.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Coach, for sharing your life story in basketball with us here on Eternity of Basketball, episode 298. Di ba? Ang saya ng kwentuhan natin. Feeling ko kulang pa nga, pero wala. Kailangan talaga magwakas ang ating show. So that's 298. We're 2 away from the big 300. Okay, so before we go, we'd like to remind everybody we are part of the Globally Ballin Network. Thanks to Carla and to Aaron. We are powered by San Miguel Corporation, Ginebra San Miguel in cooperation with Tuminugan Farm and Founders Donuts. We thank the archives, the diaries, and the Sports Bureau for the information and some of the pictures that we show. Sino nag-birthday the past week? Marlo Hakutin, Ver Santos, Coach Jong Wichico, and Larry Pounds. And
Boss Terike, birthday today. Boss Terike.
Terike. Oh, birthday pa ni Terike today. Happy birthday, sir.
Happy birthday! My boss!
Okay. So yun, ang episode 298, napakasaya. Coach Alex Compton, pangalawang appearance sa aming show. Siya pinakabatang solo guest natin ever. Can you imagine that? So far, sir, mukhang papunta na tayo dun. Hinahanap na nga ng mga tao yung younger guests. So that does it for us today. Hope you enjoyed our show. We'll announce our next guest and when it's going to be on our Facebook page. Please follow us there. Sa ngalan ng aking mga kasamahan, Jay Mercado, Sid Ventura, Charlie Cuna po, nagpapaalam na. Have a great rest of the weekend, everybody. God bless you all. And we hope to see you at the PBA games. We'll see you whenever, Coach, when you're in town. Beers. Okay,
Yep.
beers. Bye, guys. Everybody, ingat kayong lahat.
Thank you, Coach.
Maraming salamat.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Carla.
Thanks, guys.
San Miguel Pale
Salamat.
Pilsen, the beer that started it all. In 1890, the first brewery in Southeast Asia opened, brewing a high-quality beer made from the choicest ingredients, following a meticulous process. In 1913, San Miguel journeyed across Asia to export to Shanghai, Hong Kong, and Guam. And starting 1948, established breweries in Hong Kong, Indonesia, Vietnam, China, and Thailand, expanding its market to reach over 70 countries worldwide. 135 years of brewing excellence and winning quality awards. A champion of taste, winning the hearts of consumers here and abroad. The Filipino beer that binds the nation together. A nation that's been toasting with San Miguel for 135 years. No other beer can say the same. San Miguel Pale Pilsen. Pride of Filipinos worldwide.
Nay, may bisita kayo. Nakikilala niyo ba si Robert? Apo niyo.
Ikaw at ako pinagtagpo, nag-usap ang ating puso, nagkasundong magsama habang buhay. Ikaw at ako di nag-isa sa isa't isa. sumasandal. Bawat hangad kayang abutin, basta't ikaw, ako, tayo, magpakailanman.
Nandyan ka lang pala.
Noon, ngayon, habang buhay, ikaw at ako, San Miguel Pale Pilsen,